Alright, so today I'm taking over as manager of AC Milan, who in real life are managed by Ruben Amorim after a disappointing season, finishing 5th, missing on European football. Let's get into the series and make AC Milan the best team in the world once again. Alright, so this is the AC Milan team we have to start this series off with. As you can see, we've got some big name players in this team, like Pulisic, Rafael on the wings, but there are two players that we're looking to sell, especially Leao. He said he wants to leave, so Rafael is going to be leaving the club, and we're going to hopefully get some good money for him. I see in real life it's been linked heavily to Arsenal and Man United. Pulisic as well, I believe he has been linked with a move away. I've seen AC Milan miss out on Champions League football on the final game of the season, and Como got that position, and we're in the Europa League for the season up ahead. And also Adrian Rabiot is a player we're going to sell because Allegri wants to take him with him to Napoli, where he now manages. Another player I've also seen linked is Fofana, could be leaving the team. I've seen him linked to Fenerbahce. Not so sure about how likely he is to leave the club. Obviously, he would be a great player for us to keep. But there are some good backups in Yashari, Samuel Arici, Loftus-Cheek, etc. in the team. But speaking of transfers, so we do have Nkunku as a cam here. And Nkunku obviously was a great player at Leipzig, moved to Chelsea, didn't work out for him, has had like three or 4 years now. I think it's 3 years where his career just dropped off a cliff. And well, we're going to try and revive him, but it's not going to be a first team player unless we do play him at striker, where he can play. He goes on a -3 though. At left mid he goes on a -1. At cam is his best position. But as a player that I want to bring into the team, who's in the thumbnail? So let's get that one done first of all. Then we're going to talk about other potential transfers for the team. And well, joining AC Milan to be the cam in this team is Neymar Jr. So he recently added back into the game due to the World game, the World Cup game mode. We saw how good he can be in that Brazil World Cup video. I recommend you go back and check that out on the channel. The video I did for Brazil, where we went to try and win the World Cup with them, because Neymar was incredible in that video. He's 33 years of age now, 83 rated, will definitely decline in rating in the series, but he's going to sign here to be a cam and possibly be our Ronaldinho of the squad. And well, as I am recording this episode, the player you're seeing walking through the doors has literally just reached an agreement to sign for AC Milan. IRL, just saw it pop up on my phone, so I thought, you know what, let's make the transfer happen right here, right now. Gonçalo Ramos is now the striker of AC Milan. Apparently they're playing a club record fee for him to get him from PSG in real life. I brought him here for 32 million in this series, so and he's going to compete for Santi Jimenez for the first team striker role. I think actually Gonçalo Ramos will start starting striker. Jimenez will be on the bench. And Ramos is now an AC Milan player in the series and in real life. Alright, so after bringing in Ramos and Neymar, I also decided to bring in Paqueta from the free agency as well as Neymar, because, well, Paqueta's a former AC Milan player. He's 27 years of age, or 28 in real life. I'm not too sure what age he is in real life these days, but it will be a good backup player for us. We're also going to let go of Rabiot, so we need a player to replace him in the team. Now, see, Paqueta's a bit more of an attacking player, but we do have, like I say, something that we have Yashari as well as backup more defensive midfielders, and we have the likes of Paqueta and Nkunku and Loftus-Cheek, who can do an attacking, and especially Loftus-Cheek can do defending as well. But yeah, Gonçalo Ramos is signed in real life, so I brought him into the series as well. Neymar, I see from the free agency, as a big star player, and Paqueta to be a good backup player for us in the team, returning to the San Siro in the series. But in terms of other players that have been linked to the club in recent times, actually pretty much everyone here on the shortlist has been linked to AC Milan in the past few days or week or so. And the first player on the shortlist is Malo Gusto. As you can see, obviously the French right back will be a good player for us to bring in. Not so expensive, despite in real life he will be a very, very expensive player to bring in. We also have Diego Leite, could be a good backup defender from Union Berlin, the Portuguese centre back. He used to be a big talent in Croatia back in the day. And I think he could be a decent player for us to have. Jimenez has also been linked to the club. And the only issue with Mateo Gabbia is he's 25 or 26, but he's got 49 pace. So even though Jimenez is older than him, is obviously higher rated, but he has 70 pace, so it's better in that regard. David Alaba is meant to be a free agent. I'm not too sure why he isn't. When I searched him to add him to the shortlist, he was in the free agency, but then when I added him to the shortlist, he said he's at Real Madrid, so I'm not too sure what's going on there. But David Alaba has been linked to AC Milan as I see now a free agent, has to leave in Real Madrid. Leon Goretzka, seemingly to move to Everton before we could sign him. But yeah, Leon Goretzka is a player that's been linked to AC Milan, a player that's looking likely to leave by Munich this season. Manuel Ugarte, in real life, Ruben Amorim is the new manager of AC Milan. So Ugarte, from a United player, joining him at the club is fairly, realistic and something that I could see happening. I see Ugarte, still some decent potential. Was a great talent for Sporting back when he played. The move to PSG didn't really work out for him. The move to Man United didn't really work out. So moved to AC Milan Could be the fresh start that he needs under his former manager. Then also our Sandro Tonali, who'll be a very, very expensive signing. We couldn't afford him right now unless we sold Pulisic and Leao and don't bring in replacements for them and just use the players we have at the club right now. But Sandro Tonali is a player that's been open to a move back to the San Siro, especially to Milan. He said that he would be open to it, but the question is, would he sign for AC Milan when they don't have Champions League football? I don't think he would. A player of his quality needs Champions League football, and he's going to be leaving Newcastle in real life. So I feel like maybe next season, if we need to improve our midfield even more, we can bring Tonali into the club next season. Brahim here is a former, obviously, AC Milan player, former City wonder kid, obviously a very, very talented player, and has proven himself at Madrid a few times, and is most likely, possibly could be on a move to a new team to get first team football. And AC Milan have been a team that I've been looking likely to bring him back to the club, so he can play right mid, can play in cam, and would be a great player for us to bring into the squad, especially if it was to sort of Pulisic. Having Brahim Diaz replace Pulisic will be pretty good. And down that right hand side, we then have Arno Engels, the young Belgian midfielder from Celtic. He's been linked to the club as well, so he'll be a very, very good backup player for us to have, a young talent to develop in the team. Davide Fratesi also has been linked to AC Milan with a move from Inter Milan. He didn't really get the game time at Inter this season, and a move to AC Milan. I don't think he's been opposed to it. I don't think like either clubs are opposed to it. I think it would be a bit more of an expensive signing for AC Milan to get us signing into a direct rival for Inter would not be great for them to do, but I think they are open to selling for Tessie. Lucas Bergvall also been linked to the club. Obviously, he's a very, very talented young player. Could do a great job in the cam role, CDM, and also centre mid. Would be a great player for us. Pedro Gonçalves also been linked to the club, a left mid / cam. Obviously, a former Ruben Amorim player. You'll see quite a lot of those on the shortlist here in a second. And he's been linked to the club, so he'll be a very, very good player for us to have, either down that left-hand side or in the cam role when Neymar eventually drops out of the team, or we decide to move on from Neymar, whatever we decide to do. Let's say we do more than 2 seasons, we have to do a third, and I feel like Gonçalves would be a great player for that cam role, or maybe even left mid. He's got some great play styles, not too expensive, and a very, very talented player. And then we also have Crescencio Somerville, who in the Netherlands team in the World Cup has been doing absolutely incredible after getting relegated, but West Ham is looking to prove himself and has been linked to a move to AC Milan, also Man United, etc. And he would be a great player for us to bring in. If we sold Leao, we can bring in Somerville to replace him. He's got the pace, we need to develop his end product, but Somerville down that left to the side to replace Rafael Leao would be absolutely incredible. We also have Francisco Trincao, the Portuguese creative midfielder formerly of Barcelona and Wolves these days. Obviously, he will be a great player for us to bring in. Can play cam, right mid, striker, similar to Gonçalves. Very versatile, just very good, some great play styles, and he will be incredible for us in the team. More of a expensive signing to bring in, so I feel like that could be a season 2 signing or somewhere down the line. But Trincao will be a great player for us to use, if not in this series, in a future series. I definitely would like to use Trincao in the future at some point. Domenico Berardi, also been linked to AC Milan, the experienced Italian player. Would be great for them to have in their ranks. Obviously, he's been a great player for Sassuolo over the years, and bringing him into the club wouldn't be too expensive, and he would be a good backup player. We do have quite a few right midfielders, so we've got Chukwueze, obviously a Pulisic right now. We've got Nkunku who could play there, and someone else I can't think of right now that I'm thinking of. But in terms of strikers, well, Jean-Philippe Mateta, well, these strikers were here because I had these before. Gonçalo Ramos is actually a confirmed signing to go to AC Milan. Jean-Philippe Mateta was linked to them. He's moved to Atletico Madrid in this series, which actually could be a realistic move for him in real life. Moise Kean also been linked to the club. Dennis Undav also been linked, as he's been doing incredible for Germany in the World Cup as of recently, up until their 3rd game where Germany didn't really look good in that last game they played in the group stage. The young Ukrainian talent here has also been linked to the club. A player we could sign and loan out and possibly develop. I feel like this year, young talents, unless you do like 4 seasons, they don't really become like big players in your team unless you use them straight from the start. And I feel like when I loan out players, they don't really develop as quickly as I need them to. They get like +2s for a whole season, and I'm like, what happens to like the +5s that players used to get out on loan? I feel like loans this year haven't been that good in my opinion. But another player that's been linked to the club, these 2 down here, in Shodarup has been linked to AC Milan. I see a very, very good talented player. Could be the replacement like Somerville to a Rafael Leao in the squad. And also Omar Mamouche has been linked to the club. I wouldn't like him to leave Man City IRL. I'm a Man City fan. I think he's a great player, and I feel like we need to use him more next season under Enzo Maresca. But he would be a great player for us to bring in down that left-hand side. He would be incredible to replace Leao. And Brian Brobby's here because we had a comment on a previous video asking to sign him. I did use him in a Nottingham Forest career mode, but a player that I wouldn't be too against, use it again. But yeah, drop in the comments below what transfers you want to see happen in this team. And yeah, if we should sell Pulisic, if we should sell Leao, and who we should bring in to replace him. So Rabiot will also be a player we're letting go of. Alright, so it's time for our first game of this series, and obviously the episode, and time for Gonçalo Ramos and Neymar to make their debuts for the club here in this one. You can see Leao and Pulisic are still here because I haven't had offers for them just yet. They all transfer listed, and we haven't had offers for Leao, Pulisic or Rabiot come in just yet. But we have 2 games in today's episode, 2 very easy games. Venezia, I believe, are the team that got promoted from the Serie B last season. So let's get into this one though. Gabby at centre-back is the only issue for me in this team because he does have 49 pace. You could say Solomon is like right back, but we're playing as an attacking wing back where his role works out for us. I feel like that could be good for us. But Gabby with a 49 pace is not looking good. Obviously, Paqueta is going to make it return. I could put Pavlovic into the squad over him, which wouldn't be too bad enough. Pavlovic with less centre-back, Tomori right centre-back, but I feel like for this game, I'm going to give Gabby a chance. And if he is too slow at centre-back, which I think he might be, then we could have him just be a backup in the team. Like I say, he's 25. We can improve his pace in the team anyway. But let's get into this one. So this is also Modric's final season of professional football. He retires at the end of the season. Let's get into this one though. Up against Venezia in the not licensed San Siro, and hopefully win our first game. Watch my Brazil World Cup video. You just know how good Neymar is. If not, I recommend you go back on the channel and watch that video. There's Rafa Leao, obviously a player we're looking to sell. We haven't got any offers for him just yet. So Leao gets through here, great strength shown, brings it back. Gonçalo Ramos, his fellow Portuguese, just takes a little bit of a heavier touch there, and we couldn't get a shot away where we needed to. There goes Boa. Madao now coming forward. Tomori, good defending there. Esteno. Leao into Neymar. Back into Leao. Cross it back. To Neymar, who hits the crossbar. I thought that was a guaranteed goal. We've been by far the better team in this game. No goals just yet though. Neymar probably should have scored. Brings it forward for us. Ball over the top. Gonçalo Ramos might be offside. Across into Pulisic, and he was. That would have been 1-0 as well. The focus up on Mateo Gabby's in there. So now how good Pulisic can be from our Nottingham Forest as we actually signed him in that series. Ramos through to Captain America, the LeBron James of soccer. Across to Rafa Leao. And just before the half-time break, we finally get a go-ahead goal. And it comes to a man who's likely leaving the team in Rafa Leao. Obviously, if it wasn't for a bad season last season with Leao, maybe if it's still a Champions League football, I think he could have stayed. But in real life, he's looking to leave. I said the Milan fans have turned against him. And Leao's been such a weird player for Milan because he's been at one point, you know, like a really big talent, one of the most like up and coming hyped footballers in the world. Impressive performances week in, week out, to a player that just turns up every now and again. So you have to just sign him for AC Milan in real life as well. There's Ramos. He's played great so far though. Shadow Ramos into the space. There's the goal. On his debut, Gonçalo Ramos makes it 2-0. 2 Portuguese goal scorers by a team that's managed by a Portuguese manager at IRL. But as I mentioned in the intro, maybe, or somewhere, that, you know, Ruben Amorim, I can't get his model in the game due to like the fact he got, you know, 5 by Man United. They have the manager model in the file somewhere, but unless you're on PC, you can't access it, which is, you know, kind of annoying. But it's 2-0 here to us. We've looked great in this game so far. So we're playing Venezia. It's you know, not the biggest challenge in Italian football, but our next game isn't going to be a big challenge either. You know, we still have to do our job. Leao. There's Neymar. Running number 7 might change that. Not too sure, but Neymar looking for his first goal as well. And the floodgates have opened. And by the way, prepared to see a lot of trickster flicks and skill moves with Neymar, because it's one of my favourite player styles in this game. It's such like a very underrated player style, because you can do stuff like this, create a chance out of nothing. If you get it right, it works. And Neymar gets a goal in his debut, the number 7 for us. Weird to see Neymar with a number 7, as he's been 11 most of his career, and number 10 at PSG if I'm not mistaken. Lovely pass to by Modric, Leao, and Carlos Ramos. Through to Leao, and Rafa Leao to Neymar for a brace. It's 4-0 to Milan. You love to see it. What a start to the series for us, you've got to say. Like, again, it's Venezia, but they're not an easy team to beat. And, you know, some of these smaller teams can give you a tough challenge, and Neymar gets a brace for himself on his debut. Out to him. Yeboah sits down. That's the opinion, but there's Samori stepping in. Neymar, Fofana, Ramos, sending through Pulisic. We see Pulisic back into Salamakers. Pulisic in, and that's just a cross to no one, as well as Samir Ricci. Santi Jimenez somehow denied there. Now they come on the attack. It's great defending from Tomori. So he has been incredible all game. Nkunku, Rafa Leao, Jimenez, and him linking up here. Leao running through, makes it 5, and grabs a brace. And we'll see how good Rafa Leao can be in this game here. It is why it will be sad if we do sell him, but we get a lot of money to bring in like a Somerville, you know, anyone like that to replace him. Like I say, he does want to leave AC Milan IRL, so keeping him wouldn't be realistic. But it's great play there between him and Jimenez to create that goal. And what a debut it is for myself as a manager of AC Milan, winning this game 5-0 in San Siro. What has been an absolutely incredible performance. Leao is on for a hat-trick. Neymar could have got a hat-trick, but we took him off to bring on Nkunku. Shot taken. Magnon, for the first time in this game, after 88 minutes, finally gets to make a save. That's his first involvement in this game. And he gets a second involvement by catching the cross. And tell his ball, because he's played that ball out. It's a great ball there to Chukwueze. Jimenez. That is not the pass I wanted, but Chukwueze ain't going to get there anyway. You saw the pass I wanted down the inside, you know what I mean, in between the gap. But it's a 5-0 win for us in our first home game of the series, our first game of the series. Neymar with 2 goals, Leao with 2, Ramos with 1. It's a debut victory at the San Siro, 5-0 against Venezia. Like I say, our games are easy for today's episode. We've only got 2 games to play, but we need to win them. I can see Leao and Neymar with the 10.0 ratings. A dominant win for us. But let's get into our next game. Unless, you know, like Leao or Pulisic leave in between, the team will probably be the exact same. And we're straight into our next game against Lecce. This is our last game in the episode away from home against them. And the team is the exact same. We did get an offer from Man City for Pulisic that I rejected because I felt like Pulisic to Man City doesn't make any sense. The only change to the team actually is Pavlovic comes in at centre-back alongside Tomori, so I want to see how he plays in that role. I mentioned the pace of like a pace of Gabbia did. It was noticeable last game. We're kind of lucky we weren't facing like a much better opposition. But let's sign this game off well here. Gallo coming forward. It's good defending there from Salamakers. The makeshift right back right now for us. They're going to get a corner. Sotil, ball in. Magnon punches it away. As Pulisic though, good defending from him. Out of the two, I feel like Pulisic is more likely to stay. Obviously, he has been linked with moves away. Man United and moves to MLS, etc. I've been there. Leao over the top to control Ramos, who's denied. Salamakers, it's always been a great player. Type of player that I enjoy using. There's Neymar out. Ball over the top. Just former fellow PSG player and somehow Ramos has missed that. Okay, Gallo puts it out for a throw-in for us. We take that. Salamakers. Modric. Leao. 1-0. 25 minutes in. And Rafael Leao puts us 1 goal up. His 3rd goal of the season. He's putting us off in the shop window right now for other European clubs to come in for him and buy him. Modric, a great first-time ball, and Leao just turns. Left foot strike across goal. Top corner. Beats the keeper with power and pace with that shot. And it's 1-0 here to us. And what's been a close game so far. Lecce started this game off well, but we've found our footing in this one. And somehow they're going through here, but let's get defending there from Modric, of all players. Now Ramos to Neymar. Neymar. Through to Ramos. Can he score this time? And Gonçalo Ramos does this time. It's 2-0. Some great play there between him and Neymar. We're hoping to see more of that this season. You can see Neymar just doing well, patiently waiting for the run of Ramos, who gets in, and this time doesn't mess up the finish and makes it 2-0 here to us. Like I say, Venezia and Lecce, first games of the season, not tough challenges for us, but games we should win and games we have to win. That's the Pinyan. How is that a free kick, referee? How is there ever a free kick? We've got a ball. So one player that has actually left Milan in real life is Francesco Kamada, the young talent who was hardly sought after. How is that going to be a corner? Why did Salamakers getting away with that? Ball in, they might score. They almost did. But yeah, Kamada has left AC Milan. Something I didn't see happening. He's been on loan for a couple of seasons and has been sold. So it's a player that we won't have in the stores unless we have a buyback clause or anything in his contract. But here we go again. Gonçalo Ramos to make it a brace. Okay, it's finishing. We need to get him a bit more consistent on the ball. Neymar to Leao. Back here to Leao. Leao hits it. It's not a bad effort. Keeper makes the save. Gonçalo Ramos back to his fellow Portuguese and Leao. And Leao's running through. And Leao is denied by the keeper in Falcone, who's made a couple of saves in this game. Got to give it to him. This time will it work? Neymar beats 1. Beats 2. Can't beat the 3rd, but it's another corner. You see the play. If it works, it'll be a great goal. And Neymar, love that from you. Into the box. That was meant to go to the back stick. Fafana. Neymar spins. Neymar with a flare knocks it across. Hits it across the box to find Luka Modric. 2 players on the opposite sides of El Clasicos over the year. Link up to score a great goal. And Neymar, well, he put in the work for that goal. He heads it there. Gets ahead of the defender. A great touch there inside. Sets it for the cross. And Modric, all he has to do is pull it goalwards. And he does. And it beats the keeper with power. And it's 3-0 here. Let's make some changes. Okay, there's Nkunku. Paqueta substitutes. Linking up Chukwueze. Ball through to Santi Jimenez. And it's not 4-0. This game could have been maybe close to double digits if we could score goals. And we scored goals. We scored 3 of them. Keeper might have saved it, to be honest. It's a good keeper's done more there, but it's a Danilo. Yashari. Paqueta. Chukwueze. Nkunku. Yashari. Through to Rafael Leao to find Santi Jimenez. We're playing some great football, I tell you that, with this team right now. Like I said, we're not facing Juventus and Inter, Roma and Napoli, you know, even Atalanta and Napoli, and not Napoli, a tough team. We're not facing a tough team yet. Venezia and Lecce are games we should win. But the football we're playing in these games, especially this goal right here, is incredible. Leao's been a big part of the offence. That's the downside. He's scored a bunch of goals for us. He's been getting a bunch of assists. So if we do sell him, which we are most likely going to do, unless you guys in the comments below think, you know what, keep him one more season. Neymar's in the club. He would want to stay to play with Neymar. And whatever, you give him one last chance in the team. It's up to you guys, but I just feel like him leaving is more of a realistic thing to do. You know, selling him to like a PSG, a Man City, a Arsenal, you know, teams that are bigger teams right now in terms of what they can achieve. And also the money they can pay him. And here goes Leao again. And Leao cross to find Paqueta. And to see Paqueta back in an AC Milan shirt. May not be a licensed one in the game, but it's an AC Milan shirt nonetheless. So he was a great player back in his days at AC Milan. Got a move to West Ham. Would have had a move to Man City if it wasn't for the betting allegations and stuff like that he was involved in. And I do wish he did get that move to Man City, mate. So imagine him under Pep with De Bruyne there, everyone we had at the time. He would have been a great player for Man City, but he's back here in European football, made the move. When Neymar returned to European football, he thought, you know what? He got on the phone to his agent and said, get me to AC Milan as well, when I play with Neymar. And we got it done. And both of them are looking great in the team. Paqueta through. Chukwueze unselfishly to Santi Jimenez, and it's 6. Are we? I mean, it's likely I will win the league in the first season. Let's be honest. I most likely will win the Coppa Italia as well. Most likely will win the Europa League. But the teams elsewhere in this league need to take us seriously. Because we're here to fight for titles this season. If we lose Leao and Pulisic, we have players we can bring into the team. Players we can sign to replace them. And Leao would be the biggest miss, 100%. Pulisic hasn't really done much for us right now, but we know he's a good player. Unstoppable and unbeatable, because, you know, we haven't conceded a goal yet. But here's Santi Jimenez. Not the fastest striker, but he's running through. Looking to make it 7. And it's denied. I tried to just go low driven across goal into the bottom corner there. It's a good save from the keeper. It's a 6-0 win. 2 clean sheets back to back. And we are cooking right now. And our team is looking incredible. But like I say, Rafael Leao is most likely leaving. Because he wants to leave IRL. Yes, he's playing great for us in the team. I've mentioned it a bunch of times. But selling him would be more realistic than keeping him. And well, that's going to call it 41st episode. And what a first episode it has been. I think for now, we're going to definitely bring Pavlovic into the starting 11 for the foreseeable future until we sign a better centre-back to replace him. Obviously, he's 24, used to be a fairly big talent, and could be a good player for us. But the team right now is looking very, very good to see. The football we are playing is great. A lot of that has gone through Rafael Leao. He's been a big part of our offence in this episode, especially scoring a bunch of goals and, you know, doing some great stuff for us. So like I keep saying, selling him would be a big loss, yes. But we've got, you know, players like some of them we could bring into the team. Even Marmoush we could bring into the team. That's been linked to the club to replace him. That would be incredible. I see Pulisic right now needs to really get going. He's not had much to do in today's episode, but he's a great player. And hopefully can get some better performances in next episode, etc. But right now the team's looking great. Modric is playing great in midfield. Fofana not really have much to do. Defensively we're looking decent as well. Solowak is at right back. Not going to lie, kind of liking him in that role. So we could keep him there for the foreseeable future unless we do actually sign a Monaco Gusto to play there. But the bench is looking pretty good. I say, like I said, we need to sell Adja and Rabiot and bring in maybe a midfielder to replace him. That's similar profile to him. More of a defensive midfielder, you know, a physical, tall midfielder we could bring in to replace him. I'm not so sure who we could bring in. That's on my mind right now. But there's probably someone out there we could bring in to replace him. But like I say, in terms of the transfers, let me know who you want to see us bring in next episode. And if we should sell Leao and Pulisic together. If we get the offers for him, like I say, I sound like a broken record, but 5 assists and 3 goals for Rafael Leao. It's clear to see he's playing great. Neymar, 2 goals, 2 assists. Concordo Ramos, 2 goals. He could have had more than that himself. Same with Santi Jimenez. Modric playing great. Paqueta got a goal in terms of assists overall, as you can see. Pulisic does have an assist to his name, so that's great to see. Chukwueze the same. Obviously, he got the assist for the last goal for Jimenez in that last game. And right now, we are just playing great. Obviously, Francesco Kamada has been sold IRL, but he's only on loan here right now, so I'm just going to keep him for the season, let him be on loan, and we'll sell him next season or whatever. And I'll look into the deal, because if there is a buyback option for AC Milan, then we could just keep him at the club and just say we brought him back from the buyback option, you know what I mean? That we let him go. Obviously, we do have Maximilian Ibrahimovic as well, the son of Ibra at the club. Yeah, drop in the comments below, players you want to see us sign, who we should sell. That's as always, thank you for watching. Drop a like and subscribe if you're going to enjoy the episode. And also, thank you for watching and goodbye. Alright, so as you can see, to start today's episode, we have sold Rafael Leao to Bayern Munich for 80 million, and Pulisic has left to go to Real Madrid for 75 million. Both players are looking likely to leave AC Milan. In real life, we managed to make a lot of money on both of them. I can see our budget is looking great right now with 184 million we can spend on new transfers. And speaking of those, we're going to get into them in a second. We need to sign a new left mid, a new right mid, a new right back, and a new centre back to improve this team. Well, let's get into the transfer window and make some new signings to massively improve this team. Now, our first signing here is Crescencio Somerville from West Ham, being a replacement for Leao at the left mid position in the team. And next up here, rejoining AC Milan from Real Madrid is going to be Brahim Diaz, the Moroccan right midfielder, replacing Pulisic in the squad. And after that, we're bringing in Giorgio Scalvini, the Italian centre-back, replacing Pavlovic in the starting 11 alongside Tomori. And our next signing is going to be Malo Gusto, joining the team as our first team right back, and a great player for us to have in the team. And next up here is going to be Riccardo Calafiori, signing from Arsenal as our first team left back in the team, bolstering our back line even more with the signings we have made so far in this window. And well, for the first game of today's episode and the first impressions of our new signings, so we have 73 games in between, but our first game here is going to be up against Napoli in the Serie A. As you can see, the team that Allegri is actually going to manage next season, and Napoli are also linked with signing Adrian Rabiot, but he is still here in the team. We didn't get an offer for him in the transfer window. We also did bring in Domenico Berardi, by the way, as a backup right midfielder for the squad as well. Could also play cam, can play left mid as well if we need him to do so. I think he actually is higher rated, a +1 at cam, or +2, which he is, so that's a thing to take into consideration. But you guys did also suggest to bring in Brian Brobby to the team, and I think we could do that in the future, but right now we do want to keep Gonçalo Ramos as our first team striker since they'll sign him IRL. And Santi Jimenez played well last episode, but also the fact we've run out of money basically. We spent all the money from Leao and Pulisic in the signings you have seen, including Berardi, and without selling Rabiot, we don't have money left over to spend, so we couldn't make any more signings in the window. So our team right now is the way it is and looking pretty good. I see Neymar last episode played incredible, but Brahim, Somerville, Scalvini and Calafiori and also Malo Gusto all making their first impressions on the team in today's episode. Let's get into this one and hopefully defeat Napoli here to continue our unbeaten record in the league so far. Into Oyarzabal, and it's a very hectic and scrappy start to this game here. Politano, and if it match in here, Gutierrez, Scalvini, somehow spammed it by Oyarzabal. Manuel makes the save. Or is it Oyarzabal? There's Scalvini though stepping in. Somerville, Ramos, through to Crescencio Somerville. Did he get his first goal for Milan? And he does so. 19 minutes into this game, Crescencio Somerville scores for the first time for us in this series. As you can see, he's played 2 more games before this in simulation games. He didn't score, but he passes a test here, and he scores. Ramos with the assist. And Somerville, the Dutchman who's performing great for Netherlands right now in the World Cup, scores it for us. The number 7 now in the team. The number 11 has gone to Neymar, as I felt like it suits Neymar more than the number 7. And Somerville opens his account here. He didn't concede a goal, and we scored quite a lot. Neymar, Modric, through to Somerville. And Crescencio Somerville looking for maybe a brace. Going to play it across to Gonçalo Ramos, and it's 2-0. And we are continuing a high-flying start to this series here with Milan. See, last episode we won a game 4-0, we then won the second game 6-0. So we only played Lecce and Venezia, 2 teams that will be fighting relegation, but we had to perform in those games that we did. And here against Napoli, we hold a 2-goal lead already in this one. Gonçalo Ramos with the goal this time, and Somerville gets the assist, returning the favour Fofana can't play that ball through. McTominay intercepts. Politano. Scalvini unlucky not to get the challenge in there. And that is going to be 2-1. I feel like Magnon might have been able to save that. If we see the replay, I feel like it looked like the shot was savable for Magnon. I will say that. Scalvini unlucky not to get the challenge. We couldn't get Tomori across in time. And I need to see that from a better angle. I mean, it's actually a good strike from Politano. We'll let him have it. It's 2-1. Napoli give us our first goal. We can see it in the played game anyway. And getting us back into this one with their first shot of the game. Neymar. Oh, that was literally straight through to Ramos, but Anguissa got there just about. Oyarzabal. Oh no. McTominay, it's going to be 2-2 into it. No, Magnon made a save there. Not too sure how he saved that, but he's somehow done so. Got it all wrong there. Now Neymar. Some lovely play here for Fofana. Hits it for Fofana tonight by Alex Moret. David Neres now onto the pitch. Played that aside a few times in AC Milan promos over the years. Brahim Diaz steals it. Not had much to do in this game, Brahim, but he plays a great ball through into Concordo Ramos. And it's 3-1. Brahim with his first assist and goal contribution there. Like I said, it's not had much to do in this game. It's been fairly quiet, but it's not played bad either. It's just been more Somerville who's been involved in the attacks down the left. But Brahim Diaz not only wins the ball back, but plays a fantastic ball through to Concordo Ramos to restore a 2-goal lead for us in this game. And Ramos is looking for a hat-trick in this one now. Let's make a couple of changes just to freshen up the midfield. He's moved into the cam role. So we did sign Berardi in our Juventus series. Might have even also signed Calafiori. Not too sure now, I can't remember. McTominay. It's a straight from kickoff, by the way, so if they score here, it will be a kickoff goal. And I wouldn't be surprised if they do. Magnon with the save. Nico Napoli on the attack now. Politano puts it back. The guy who scored the goals to give them the goal they have in the game. And that's going to be 3-2. Oyarzabal. Oh, a bit of luck on his side, you've got to say. Gets a goal here. Berardi to Brahim. Brahim can play it through. Ramos can do the same into Berardi. And from a Sassuolo. Man somehow doesn't score there, because what just happened? Neres. Thank you, Calafiori, for being there, because that would have been the equaliser. And it's going to end up being maybe a draw here, because I've got the ball back. Tomori, let's get the ball away. And it's a 3-2 win. Not a great performance, especially defensively. I feel like we were headless chickens at times defensively. Like when I was just trying to control my defence, it just like, there was nothing there. And I felt like in this game there was just so much space in midfield for Napoli as well. But we win the game nonetheless. Somerville played great on his debut. Napoli in the end had 6 shots, but I don't know where they came from, honestly. Like Ramos' 10.0 rating from him. And overall just not a great performance, but we win the game. And that is all that matters in the end, but next game we definitely need to lock in and perform better. And well, next up is going to be a trip to the Allianz Stadium to face Juventus here. Let's get into this one up against them and hopefully win this game here like we did the last one, and we have done also so far this season with majority of games. We've only drew a few, but as you can see, we're going to move Scalvini to right centre back and Tomori to left centre back. I feel like that might help us a bit more defensively. I'm not too sure what really it's going to change, but I feel like it might balance us out a bit better. So Scalvini isn't the quickest, so having him behind Fofana and next to Gusto will help him a bit more, and having, you know, Calafiori at the quickest, have Tomori next to him will be a bit better. But let's get into this one up against Juventus here, and like I said, it seemed that I've done a crumb up with on the channel, so you can go back and check that out if you want to do so. But let's get into this one and hopefully defeat Juve here. Kenan Yildiz. Calafiori somehow beaten there, even though I timed the challenge, but it's going to be good defending from Somerville. But it's going to be a corner to Juventus 3 minutes in. Be shot by Yildiz to Zagrova, who floats it in, and that's going to be caught there by Magnon. A final good challenge in there from him. Brahim Plays it through to Concordo Ramos, who's found his way through. A great time running, a great ball through to the Portuguese striker, who stays scoring goals. In this series, we're signing for like 35 million. In real life, they spent 74 million to bring him in from PSG. And lots of money. I'm not sure how PSG managed to get 74 million for Concordo Ramos, but fair play to him for doing so. And hopefully Milan aren't fleeced and he actually plays well for them and helps them, you know, get back to winning trophies and competing for stuff. And also proves to be a great striker. See, in the past couple of years, he's been backup striker for PSG. And hopefully at AC Milan he can prove to be the star striker for them, because they need a star striker right now with Santi Jimenez, as he's not performing that well in the team. And the Owl leaving, who plays striker now and again. Pulisic can play striker there. I see Nkunku hasn't been that great. And I see Morata they sold to Como. As Juventus on the attack here, straight from kickoff, trying to get an equaliser. Can then Yildiz blocked it by Calafiori. Yildiz, interesting. Scavini heads it away, and there we go. We can now counter Neymar through Ramos. Neymar again into Ramos, and it's 2-0. The back three of Juventus is being exposed to it, because three at the back is always, for me, an easy formation to break down attacking wise. Defensively in this game it's harder to defend because they've got, you know, cams that stay out wide and left mids or right mids that come central, or vice versa. So if you bring your fullback in to defend, or a midfielder in to defend, you leave the space out wide, which is a hard thing to defend. So I feel like when Napoli got the better of us in that last game and managed to score 2 goals because of it. But Concordo Ramos here gets a brace, and Neymar with the assist. Both of them two just playing it patiently, they're back and forth. And Juve, well, it could be bad here because we just saw the ball straight back. And Neymar, don't be offside, please don't be offside. And he's going to be off the post anyway. That would have been 3-0. That would have been 3-0 and the hat-trick secured. No, it would have been offside anyway, as again took too long to play the pass. Koopmeiners, who was a Pender. But Calafiori's completely taking him out there. Thought he was going to continue going through, but he stopped and then just put himself in the way of the challenge. It's going to be a yellow card for Calafiori. It's not great for the Italian. 34 minutes need to be in the book, but it's a challenge we needed to make, and the game made him completely wipe out a Pender, even though he could have done something different, but you know, it is where it is in the end. It's going to be hit by Koopmeiners, and it's going to be a great save there for Magnon. Okay, then Yildiz knocks it forward. He knows he's got the beat in a pace against Calafiori, and he's on a yellow card as well, so he can't be rash. We do want to defend it for the half-time break, and we get a 3-0 lead headed into a break here. Ramos, Brahim plays it through to Francisco Somerville, who should be on side. The Dutchman is, and he scores. It's 3-0 to Milan. His second goal for us in his second game that we played with him. You'll have to see it. And it's 3-0 to us at the half-time break. And I would be tempted, not going to lie, to simulate the rest of this game, because we're 3-0 up here away in Turin against Juventus. The old lady is proving her age right now for Juve, and we're 3-0 up against them. And I think I might simulate the rest of this game. Yeah, I'm going to do it. We're going to simulate the rest of this game at half time, and hopefully I'm not going to regret that. But there's 1 minute added on. Ramos is supposed to intercept that, and then we got us a half time break, and technically the final whistle for us, because we are going to simulate the rest of the game like I just said. And hopefully the final result stays either the same, or we can add more goals to this. And to the end, it's going to end up being a 3-1 win with a Pender getting a consolation goal for them in the end. And well, we're jumping straight into our next game, which is Fiorentina. We're currently 7th in the table, but they were 4th up until the last game, which they lost, so they dropped a few points down the table, or a few spots. Samir is the only change to the team, starting at centre mid instead of Fofana. I want to see how he can perform. So we did a Fiorentina series on the channel, which was a great series to do. I always enjoy a Fiorentina series. Neymar over the top to Concordo Ramos, who right now is on fire. And Neymar, why not? I was going to say hit that, but it was intercepted. Well, blocked, I should say. But here is Concordo Ramos, who shoots, and it's a miss. Brahim to Ramos. And Ramos through to Brahim Diaz. Back to Ramos, and that's great play by David De Gea. Makes a fantastic save. Somerville. Modric hits it. Not a bad effort, just over the bar. Had De Gea troubled. Modric, Somerville. Ramos through to Crescencio Somerville. And Somerville scores. It's been coming. We've had the chances. And Somerville scores again. His third goal in his third played game for us here. As it says 5 appearances, but you know what I mean by played games. Like one I actually have controlled myself and recorded to play. So the other 2 have been simulation games that he's been part of. Well, right now we're looking great, I will say. The game against Napoli was a bit of a worry for us because we didn't play great in that game, but we managed to win it in the end. And right now though, we are looking good in this one against Fiorentina. Also, I've not seen Samir really get involved, but that isn't a bad thing. He's not had much to do. Neymar through to Goncalo Ramos, and it's 2-0. And Goncalo Ramos is incredible. 9 goals in 7 games. Neymar with the assist there. But Goncalo Ramos, it's his movement. A lot of strikers in this game like don't do the stuff like Goncalo Ramos is doing for me in this team. You know, the movements where they're just in the great positions to get shots away and link it up well with the team. Like his chemistry with Neymar in this squad is unbelievable. And the same with Somerville. We saw it with Leao as well. So both of those are Portuguese. They'd expect him and Ramos to play well together, but we assault Leao and Pulisic, and we are looking more the same. Pretty much like we Goncalo Ramos has stolen it as well. Like, and it's Neymar, and it's 3-0. Neymar's first goal of the episode. His 5th overall for us in the Serie A. And this is ultimate. This is, you know, sliders turn on to make the game harder. But we are just that good. And this team is just playing football. If you watched the last episode as well, you saw the football we were playing. And it was incredible. As you can see, that one Fiorentina defender drops back, which allowed Neymar just to keep moving into that space. If that one defender stepped up, it would have been harder for us to play that pass. But he stayed back, and they're down 3-0. Being tracked down here by Somerville. Ball forward, but there's Tomori just swooping it up. Not the cleanest pass there back to Magnon, but it worked. Okay, neither of those passes what I wanted, by the way. The pass originally was meant to go to Somerville, but thankfully they got the shot wrong, and that is going to be the half-time break. And just like Juventus, it's 3-0. And well, you know what happens next. This game is pretty much done already, so we're going to sim to the end. And it's going to end up being a 3-2 win with Solomon getting 2 goals back for them, but Dodo getting injured late on. And that was almost... This is why I don't really like doing this, because the AI sometimes can just, you know, magically come back out of nowhere. They had 2 chances and scored 2 goals. But thankfully, in the end, it's a win for us, which is to see. Alright, so now we are taking on AS Roma here, at home in the San Siro. So I also did I think I did a Roma series on this game. I think I did a Roma series on this game, if I'm not mistaken. We're very patiently bringing the ball forward here. Modric. Somerville back to Modric, and somehow we didn't score it because the pass somehow didn't find Luka Modric there. It's Ibrahim. Modric holds it up nicely to see it. Neymar through into Crescencio Somerville, and Svilar denies him. It's going to be a corner here. Going to go short here to Somerville. Can get it to Neymar. Neymar can hit it, but it's wide of the post. And I was hoping Neymar would continue that run forward there, but he didn't. But we managed to make it work in the end. Neymar, not the best pass, and it's cleared there. Just didn't really have anything behind it to get forward. And somehow Marlon is still going here. Daniel Marlon back to El Shaarawy. And Marlon now twisting and turning. Matthias Soleil hits it, and there's a big save from Mike Magnon. Calafiori, great ball over the top to find Crescencio Somerville. And Somerville Okay, that pass was meant for Neymar to begin with, but we have to just recycle it, make it work now. Modric hits it and it's blocked though. And now Wesley charging forward. Goes it back to the baller. Across to Daniel Marlon, and that's an easy save there for Maignan to make. It's been an end-to-end game so far, and we're up in the better team of the two. Brahim into Neymar, now Ramos. Been a bit quiet in this game, I will say. Modric over the top to him though, but Ndika does well to win that. And now Somerville hits that. Not the best effort considering he had the time and the space to actually connect with that properly. The game screwed him over there, I will say. Sharawi into Sule. It's going to be a good defender for Modric, and Fofana almost gives the ball back to them. Ramos to Brahim, and Brahim, and bring it forward. Now can call Ramos. That should be 1-0. There we go. Just after the half-time break, we finally get a go-ahead goal, and who else would it be other than a man who's got 10 goals now in 9 appearances, and that's Enquiries Ramos, who's proven to be worth the money. As like I say, in this was, we only spent 35 million on him, but 74 million in real life is what they spent. Brahim does well there. Ramos with an easy, composed finish there. Finds the back of the net. And it's 1-0 here to us. And the floodgates hopefully have opened for us, and we can get more goals in this game. Cristante. The question is, will Roma answer back straight from kick-off? Hopefully not. Gusto does well there. Ramos to Brahim Diaz. Into Neymar. Neymar into Enquiries Ramos. And it's a great save from Mile Svilar. Ball forward to Wesley, the Brazilian, who's got the pace. Brings it forward for them. For Kai Tomorrow reads that well and defends them. We do well, they're just about to beat the press. Oh, we'll lose the ball there. The flip flap didn't really work there. The baller to Wesley, whips it in. Gusto at the back stick, deals with it just about for Fofana now. Can find Brahim. That's going to be over here to El Shaarawy. Ball through, and that's going to be a goal for Roma somehow there. How has it ended up as a goal for Roma? That's frustrating. That is so frustrating. After all the chances we've had in this game, it's now level. There's Paolo the ball up. Ball in. And that, okay, how did we not deal with that? How did Matteo Silla get a shot away there? Ricci into Nkunku. Plays it through to Chukwueze. That's into Jimenez. Can spin. And he can score. You'd love to see it. Santi Jimenez has his 3rd goal of the season in his 4th game. As he was transferred from Feyenoord to Milan. Didn't really work out for Santi Jimenez in the end. As he didn't really score many goals for them so far in his career there. But we know he's a great striker. We know he's got the ability. And when he's in form, he performs incredible. We saw it with his days, like I say, in the Eredivisie and also in the Champions League with Feyenoord. But he scores here to make it 2-1 and puts us back in the lead in what's been a hard-fought game, but a game we should be ahead in. Dovvik now on for them. Part of the baller. Good block left from Calafiori, but it's going to end up being a corner. Got to say, Roma have had all the luck going their way. Like all the rebounds, all the deflections have gone in ways that benefit them. And case in point, they score from the corner. Straight from kick-off, they get a goal back again. I don't know. Wesley, Scalvini, there we go. Calafiori, Somerville. In fact, this game's 2-2 is crazy. And Nkunku, Jimenez. Great ball through by Chukwueze, and Jimenez puts us back ahead. Let's just hope there's not another kick-off goal for Roma to score in this one. We're now back ahead. Jimenez off the bench with 2 goals. We're celebrating this like we've won a trophy, but in fact this game's going to end hopefully 3-2, but you never know, I might get another goal from kick-off here, because there we go, we do well to defend that. And we get another goal here to put us with a 2-goal cushion in the end to make the scoreline a bit more realistic for what the game should have been. So we had a recheat into Chukwueze, and Chukwueze makes it 4-2. Last kick of the game. Hold that, Roma. That's his first goal of the season from Samuel Chukwueze, who played last season out on loan at Fulham. The reason why I've kept him is because I saw a report saying that is actually a part of the plan for Milan this season. So we haven't sold him, we kept him here at the club, and it's going to be a good squad player for us to have anyway, with the pace and the ability he does have. And Chukwueze scores. It's 4-2. Now the scoreline reflects the game a bit more, because we deserve to have a bigger lead than it would have been in the end if it was only a 1-goal lead for us in the end. But it's going to be a 4-2 win here against Roma, and we remain undefeated, top of the table in Serie A. Alright, so as you can see, next up it's going to be the first Milan derby of the season here, up against Inter. Let's get into this one, up against them, and hopefully beat them here for the first time round this season. Starting this one, Ramos. Kind of all over the place there, but Neymar. I have to sit up for Neymar. He hits it and just got it wrong when it came to the finish. We're now playing against a back 5 for the first time in today's episode, not a back 3. Somerville finds the space, and Somerville hits it, but just a bit too much on it in the end. Sucic. There's Scavini. Good defender from him. Brahim. I see DeMarco's going to have the pace advantage, the strength advantage. Neymar, love that from you. Ball over the top as well to find Enquiries Ramos. And that should be 1-0, and it is 1-0. A moment of magic from Neymar creates the opportunity. Ramos makes a run and scores again. And right now he cannot be stopped. There's that little flick by Neymar on a turn right there. Ball over the top. Ramos, all he has to do is connect with a strike and beat Jan Sommer, and he has done so. And obviously makes it 1-0 to us to see it. Fana into Ramos. Ramos now can bring it forward for us. Play the ball into Neymar, and Neymar can get in behind with a great bit of skill. It puts it wide of the post when it comes to the finish. What did play here from us though? Neymar. Ramos through into Luka Modric, who's charging forward, and Modric makes it 2. And Inter right now, I should tell you by the way, they're 9th in the table. At the start of this series, they've had a bad start to the league season, and it's continuing here for us right now. Well, for them right now against us, because we're 2-0 up against them. Modric gets a goal for himself. And it's a great bit of play there as well to create the goal as well. It's a great finish as well by Luka Modric into the far corner, and puts us 2 goals up in this one. I pass on though, but we can work it around. Modric. Somerville, can we make it 3-0? Press into Somerville. It is 3-0. Inter just haven't turned up to this game. And Somerville scores again for us. I think it was. That'd be great. And right now we are just looking unstoppable. It's a great save. It's a great strike there, sorry, from Somerville. Not sure I was going to say great save. It would have been a great save to deny him. There's a good shot there from the Dutchman. Beats Jan Sommer in goal with power and pace. Zielinski trying to find a consolation goal for them right now, as it would be. Lautaro Martinez, straight from kick-off, scores it. I had a feeling that was going to happen. The second I started that kick-off, I had a feeling it was going to end in a goal. Modric. Neymar. Oh, that's lovely. I think that's just... Oh... I just thought I'd try it, because the shot wasn't really there to be taken. And we have just humiliated Jan Sommer to make it 4-1 before the half-time break. Let's just watch that again. As you can see, the shot right here when Jan Sommer drops wasn't really on, so I just thought, let's flick it up and over him. And it worked to perfection. Neymar makes it 4-1 to us. You'd love to see it. Would have been fun if it weren't for the consolation goal that just scored from kickoff, but we answered back with one of our own. It's a bad clearance there, and we are going to win the header. Modric, Fofana, Neymar, Brahim, not a bit of skill, and Brahim makes it 5, and now we're going to simulate the rest of the game. Because Inter are being ripped apart here. Brahim's first goal for us since returning to AC Milan after many years away when he moved back, when he moved to Real Madrid from Milan. And he scores here to make it 5-1. And what a performance it's been from this team so far. Let's stimulate to the end of the game, and hopefully it stays the same as it is. It's going to end up being 7-2. We've gone Ramos scoring 2 more goals in the end, and Schick getting a goal back for them to make it, getting themselves the second goal. And Goncalo Ramos gets a hat-trick in this one here, in a 7-2 victory against Inter. That's an insane win for us. Alright, so that's going to call it for the end of today's episode. And what an episode that has been us. We have continued our great form in the league. We're currently still undefeated, top of the table, as I'll quickly show you as we currently stand in the league. We currently are on 41 points, quite a bit ahead of Juventus, who are second place right now. We have only conceded 14 goals and scored 45. As you can see, we are the second best defence in the league as it stands. Juve just slightly ahead of us in that position, but we scored so many more goals than every other team around us, which is why we are top of the table currently with 13 wins and 2 draws to our name. So we also are going to be in the Super Cup. You're not too sure if Milan will be in this next season or this season coming up, but we are going to be in it in this current mode, so we're going to try and win this if we can do so next episode. And we also are going to try and sell Adrian Rabiot, because right now we only have 3 million in their budget after spending a lot of money on new transfers in today's episode. Hopefully we can sell Rabiot, because we're not using him as a player we want to let go of. But I can see in terms of stats of players so far, Goncalo Ramos, 15 goals and 4 assists to his name. What season he's having for us in the striker role in the team. And then Neymar, despite going down to a -1 to 82, he's got 10 goals and 8 assists to his name this season. Santi Jimenez is starting to find his form for Milan with 8 goals and 1 assist. Luka Modric, 5 and 3, still doing at the age of 40. You have to see it. And Somerville, 4 and 3. And Kunku doing decent, 4 and 2 in the second team. Berardi doing decent as well. Brahim Diaz, though, 5 assists and 2 goals. So just see that from him. And then Chukwueze doing decent as well. But like I say, next episode, I'm going to try and win the Italian Super Cup. We'll probably have our first few games of the Europa League knockout stages, and also maybe the Coppa Italia. We're going to try and advance in that as well. We're hopefully going to win the domestic treble this season. Obviously, the Italian Super Cup doesn't really count as a trophy, but it's one you want to win nonetheless. But as you can see, the team's looking great. Our new signings in here, that's the Somerville, Calafiori, Scalvini, Gusto, and also Brahim, playing incredible, and Berardi on the bench, looking pretty good as well. And overall, we've got a great bench. I need to bring Estepinian up here as well. So Rabiot, like I keep saying, we are looking to sell. And if we do sell him, we're going to get probably about 50 to 60 million for him, somewhere around that price tag. So we could make a big signing for the team. Not so sure, we don't really need anyone for the first team. We could sign a backup player or two to improve the squad elsewhere. Maybe an actual proper backup left mid. Because right now I've been using Chukwueze as a left mid in the second team. We'll do a Solomon Kazirko convert into a left mid. That's one thing we can do as well. But yeah, the team's looking great and performing great as well. Like I said, that's going to call it for this one. You've gone into enjoy the episode. Drop a like and subscribe. And thank you for watching. And goodbye. Alright, so to start today's episode off, we're going to take on Napoli here in the semi-final of the Super Cup. As you can see, Bologna v Inter is the other semi-final taking place. But as you'll see via the league table, we're currently top of the table. Bologna are 5th, but the 2 other teams, Inter and Napoli, are 8th and 9th respectively, not having great seasons. And we've already beaten Inter this season as we beat them 7-2 last episode. And when it was 5-1 before I simulated the rest of the game, it ended up being 7-2 in the end of it. And I believe we've already beaten Napoli as well. But let's get into this one up against the start of the episode and hopefully reach the final of the Super Cup to most likely face Inter unless Bologna and get a big victory against them. I assume we're dropping back there, there's no need. Modric and Somerville. Somerville has Ricardo Ramos to feed it through into Neymar. And Neymar's denied by Alex Moret somehow there. And Mamma Pochettino, bottom of the top. Dealt with by Scalvini. And here goes crossing to Somerville with the pace. The Dutchman is flying forward. He can't be stopped. It cuts inside. Somerville hits it, denied, and it doesn't fall for us there. There's a ball. Adama shoots, so that's going to be a comfortable save there for Magnon to make. Lovely move there. Ricardo Ramos, Brahim Diaz, through to Somerville, who should be onside. And it's going to be offside. Oh, the delay in the passing in this game is the bane of my existence. Hafana, good block in there, and we're going to get the ball with Ramos. Brahim. Into Modric, and now Ricardo Ramos. Back into Luka Modric. And Luka Modric is denied by Alex Moret. How are we not winning this game yet? That wasn't meant to rhyme, but it did. Somerville. That should be 1-0. Somerville. Why did I speak? Why did I speak? Pochettino. Good change in there from Calafiori. It's going to give them a corner frustrating lead just for the half-time break. In the game we should be 2 or 3 goals up in. And Somerville. You should be able to just run down this wing here and get all the way forward. Ball out into Ramos. Back into Somerville. Across into Somerville. Across to the back second. There's Brahim. And that is 1-0 finally. A last kick at the half. And we get a much deserved go ahead goal in this one. Like I said, we should be 2 or 3 goals up in this game already, but we finally get one on the counter from the corner. And the last kick of the game, the Napoli fans and players were saying the other time is too much. You know, only 1 minute added on and we're in the 47th minute of it. But, well, the plus 2 minutes of a added 1 minute. But that happens to be too many times to be even to, you know. It's finally happened if we're around, basically what I'm saying. Usually I concede goals when there's only 1 minute added on and it ends up being 5 minutes at a time. So it's fine. Thankfully, it's finally ended up working out in the other direction. Gutierrez into David Neres, a player that I used to sign all the time for AC Milan and career modes in the past, and that's going to be an equaliser for De Bruyne and Napoli. And it's such a poor goal to concede, and it's so frustrating because, like I said, this game should be done by now. It's just a ball across the box and there's no one there to intercept it, and De Bruyne is able to run into acres of space and put the ball into the back of the net. Just look at this. Look at how much space is there. On the 60th minute mark, De Bruyne equalises. And again, it doesn't have to be levelling. We've done nothing in this game, Napoli. There goes Brahim. It's a good cross to the back stick, but nothing comes from it. There's this game. Ramos. Neymar through to Crescencio. Somerville, the Dutchman. Oh, why did I do that? Why did I do that? Why did I do that? I thought, you know, Ramos would have moved more to the left and it would have been more of a tap-in. But somehow Moret stopped us from scoring there again. Got still great defending. The fact we're not like 4 or 5 goals up in this game is crazy, like honestly. And De Bruyne somehow skips past Tomori, and that's a big save there for Magnon. This sets defenders corner here first of all. They've brought on Lukaku late in this game for Oyarzabal. He's a former AC Milan player. Did he play for AC Milan? I think he did play for AC Milan, right? Here's Chukwueze. Santiago Jimenez. Into the middle to find Domenico Berardi, and Berardi puts his 2-1 up. Instant impact from the substitutes. You'd love to see it. A former Sassuolo man who were brought on into the cam role in this game gets us the go-ahead goal. And our substitutes were the ones who created it. I see some good defending from the corner. The ball forward from Chukwueze into Jimenez, who held it up and did well. Finds Berardi with great passing behind. And then the experienced Italian finds the back of the net. And Gisa trying to get a kick-off goal for them. Lukaku, but there is Paqueta. That is not a pass I wanted the game. Hopefully Paqueta gets the ball back. Let's see it. And Lucas Paqueta. Ball forward into Chukwueze, who's onside. Chukwueze scores. It's 3-1. And that's the game done. A big goal there from him. Our substitutes again being the deciding factor in this one. Paqueta with some great defending. A great run forward. A ball into Chukwueze, who wraps it into the far corner. A great finish there from him. And Chukwueze has been a great player forward in this team. Obviously, in real life, his plan is part of the Milan plan. Next season, after his loan at Fulham, they plan to keep him. That's why he's still part of the squad, and I'm glad he is still part of the squad because he scored a few good goals for us. Otherwise, that'd be great. And a big goal here. That's going to be deflected back to De Bruyne. That's going to be blocked again, and that's going to be put over the bar by Gutierrez. And it's a 3-1 win for us here, and we're through to the final of the Italian Super Cup. And as you can see, surprisingly, we're going to be taking on Bologna here in the final of the Super Cup, and that is because they defeated Inter on penalties to get here after a 1-1 draw. They won it 5-3 in the penalty shootout, and like I said, Bologna are actually the best team performing out of the lot that we could have faced. Napoli are 6th, as you can see. Inter are now 10th in the table, and Bologna are 5th in the Europa League spot that Milan finished in last season to get us where we are in this season. But right now we are top of the table still, which you'll have to see. Let's get into this one though. Up against Bologna in the Super Cup final, and hopefully win my first trophy as Milan manager in the series. Benedeschi into Castro Scavini, good challenge in there. Now Bohim. Ramos. That was meant for Somerville, and Modric has got the shot all wrong. Benedeschi. Fiore can't make the challenge. Magnon, good save. And finally that goes wide at a poster from Lewis Ferguson. And Neymar. Lovely bit of skill. And Neymar scores to make it 1-0. You'd love to see it. Neymar on the score sheet. And that's his default celebration of the game, by the way. Apparently they don't have his actual celebration of the game. You know, the one that he used to do when you celebrate with Neymar. But it's a lovely bit of skill there from Neymar. Flicks it past the defender. Raffles it past the goalkeeper. And it's 1-0 Milan. In this one here, you'd have to see it. Apparently doesn't have the pace to outpace João Mario. No, João Mario is not slow, but Crescencio Somerville. Somerville through to Ramos. It's poor defender for Bologna, and they've got saved by the keeper. Raheem wraps it, and he's denied. No penalty given for the late challenge on him as well. Now Somerville trying to do the same at this one, because Somerville have a different outcome. No, they can't, but well, technically a different outcome. It's blocked by Ferguson and knocked out for a corner. Benedeschi, Odegaard. Oh no, just can't get close to him. He's still going forward. He finds Castro, who puts it wide. As shown in the first half, they can create chances. Benedeschi, the former Chroma talent back in the day. João Mario the same. Here they go, Benedeschi shoots, and there's a goal. Straight from kick-off. Bologna make it 1-1. Brahim putting it ordered. Moves it. Puts it up. Why is that going to Somerville? Wow, I mean, why is Neymar the guy in the box as well? Where's Ramos? Like, Brahim. Ramos. Back to Brahim. 1-on-1 with the keeper. And Brahim scores. It's a great goal on the hour mark. Well, just over the hour mark into the game. Brahim, the former Spaniard, now represents Morocco. Scores to make it 2-1 to us here. It's a great word there between him and Gonçalo Ramos to create the goal. And Diaz is the one that finishes it. He wins that one. And it's going to be another throw-in. Can't get a block there this time. Bedeshi into the box. Santiago Castro's header. Nothing to worry about there from him. And not for the pass, but here's Solomakers. Paqueta. Through to Gonçalo Ramos to put this game to bed and steal the trophy, but somehow Shortkiss has made a big save there. Solomakers. Belgian forward to the Italian Imberardi, across to the Portuguese striker who beats the Greek shot stopper. To finally put the nail in the coffin and secure the Italian Super Cup for AC Milan. You love to see it. Our first trophy as manager here. There's great work there on the right to get the ball forward, and Gonçalo Ramos got unlucky earlier. This time finds the back of the net and puts the 2 goals up, makes it 3-1, and pretty much one of the last kicks of the game. Let's put to bed this game and sealed our first trophy. There might be another goal left in this one for them, but Paqueta as well then. That's going to go all the way through to Magnon. And that's going to be the final whistle. 3-1. We are Super Cup champions at the biggest trophy in Italian football. Not an important one, but one you want to win nonetheless. Neymar, Brahim and Ramos were the goal scorers. 3 new signings, 1 former player. And here we are for the first time in the series, lifting some Italian silverware. Magnon with the captain's armband will lift it. I think when we get to like maybe the Serie A title, the Scudetto, or the Champions League or Europa League, I think the captaincy will go to Neymar or Luka Modric, especially because he's retiring next season. But Magnon lifts the Super Cup. A player that's been linked with moves away from AC Milan in the past, but seemingly, as things stand right now, has committed his future to AC Milan, which is why he is still here, and lifts the Super Cup here to prove that AC Milan are on their way back to greatness once again. Alright, so as you can see, we've had a massive time jump in this series. We've gone all the way to the semi-finals of the Coppa Italia. That is because, well, in the league we are fairly far ahead and we've had some easy games for a while since the last game you saw us play. But as you can see, the other semi-final is Cagliari v Genoa. So we've got a fairly comfortable final if we can get past Juventus. And speaking of Juve, in the league they're currently 3rd in the table on 53 points, joint 2nd with AS Roma. But as you can see, we're top of the table on 71 points with 0 losses and 73 goals scored and only 25 conceded, which is mental. And also in the Europa League, we are going to be in the running to see them against Porto, so we're going to have to play that one because Juve take on a team I always get out the actual full name of, but they're going to be taking on them lot. Panathinaikos, Leverkusen. Some good teams still left in the Europa League. Obviously Sunderland, as a Marseille, Bournemouth, Hoffenheim can be a good challenge. Feyenoord, Leverkusen, Juventus especially Porto as well, will be a good challenge for us. That's going to play after we take on Juve in this one in the first photo in the Coppa Italia semi-final. I believe there might be 2 legs to this, if I'm not mistaken. So we're going to get into this one and hopefully win the first one here fairly comfortably, so we can sit in the second one and be through to the final without having to worry about a comeback from Juventus. So next season, whoever we do bring in to replace Modric in that centre mid role needs to be someone of some of the calibre of Modric, I imagine. We can go on to win the Champions League with, but Somerville trying to bend that one into the far corner. David now getting a little bit fortunate here. Conceição, but there's Malo Gusto. Just couldn't get away from Conceição there. He was just stuck to him like glue. They still have possession somehow. Ball in. And that's a header goalwards, but comfortable save there for Magnon to make. Why did Goncalo Ramos not continue that run? It would have been onside if he continued it, and the ball would have been over the top. He would have had a good chance against Bremer there. The save by Magnon there to deny David Malagusto. And bring it forward with pace, the Frenchman. Goncalo Ramos. Through into Neymar, and Neymar is denied. But Somerville's there to smash it in. And it makes it 1-0 to us. Somerville had a chance earlier, which he put wide. But this time, he has pretty much an open goal. Well, he does have an open goal. He just had to get there before the Juve defender. As you can see, the Juve defender had a shorter distance to run, but Somerville with the pace beats him just about to it. And so he keeps his eyes on the defender, gets to before Bremer, and puts it into the back of the net. Somerville. Forward to Goncalo Ramos. Ramos hits it, and that's gone in. Di Gregorio needs to, well, I guess, check his hands because they seemingly don't work. And Ramos has made it 2-0 to us fairly quickly after we got the first. Somerville with the assist this time. And Ramos just cutting in from the left, just smashes it, and Di Gregorio just makes an absolute meal of it. Maybe thinks Bremer's going to get there, and then it's too late, and he should be saving that. The ball straight at him. Let's start the first half, I don't think, unless he just never touched the ball. Calafiori. I believe we signed him in the Juve career mode. I know I've done one before where I signed Calafiori. Speaking of Juve, header come forward. Ball into the box. Thuram, awful attempt there, wide open. It was poor defending from us, and Thuram should have made us pay. Running at Lloyd Kelly, I believe it is. Sends it through. Into Neymar. But it's offside. Jonathan David shoots and gets the goal out of nothing. I mean, fair, I guess, but I need to know what my defence was doing. Like, and it's 2-1 just like that. We just had a goal disallowed at the other end. That would have made it 3-0, and now Juve are back in this one. But let's pass it where I'm aiming it, at least, like in a general area. That'd be nice for once game. Oh no, we're going to concede again here. It's 2-2. No, it ain't. Magnon, what a save. There's no way through for us here. Unless maybe no. Paqueta. Love that from him. And that's a great goal from Lucas Paqueta. He's been playing good for Brazil in the World Cup. And he's just scored a fantastic goal here to put his 2 goals back in the lead and give us that cushion we need. You can see a great bit of skill there to beat Koopmeiners, and just smashes it past Di Gregorio in goal. Great finish, great placement, unstoppable. And Paqueta, back in the colours of Milan, is performing as well as he used to in the colours of Milan. So Medorici forward into Chukwueze, last chance of the game. Chukwueze to pretty much wrap up the tie, but it's denied by Di Gregorio. I had the pass there, I could have chipped it by 2 minutes decisions to try and make it a split second. Berardi back here, Medorici blocked by Bremer. It's going to be a 3-1 win here for us. You imagine that gives us just enough to be able to simulate the second leg and go through into the final of the Coppa Italia. But next up is going to be Porto in the Europa League. Alright, so we'll go against Porto away from home with a player we just used in our previous series in Samu in the team. So he was part of our West Ham career mode up front, and it was absolutely incredible for us. And we're hoping to keep him quiet in this game, and also keep many other players in their team, you know, behind. That's a big change on Modric right there as to start the game off with. Somerville. Back here to Neymar after the Hulk gets the ball off him though, and it's going to be cleared. Decide on other ways to go, or the new game comes out and I have to, like, you know, do a different team. Modric across though, taking Carlos Ramos, and it's 1-0 straight away from the former Benfica striker. If I'm not mistaken, he was a Benfica academy player before his move to PSG, which obviously didn't really go well. It's not gone away. People that maybe wanted it to, but Ramos was a great talent. And well, as I'm recording this, Balogun just got sent off for USA after scoring a goal that put them 1-0 up here. That's a big play to get sent off, Balogun, because he's been their best player. And if they go through to the next round and they don't have Balogun in their team, as obviously he's suspended, that's going to be a big miss to them. And Neymar, it could be 2-0 here to us if we get this right here. Modric. Okay, no foul given there, even though probably could have got a foul. Varela's got a handball yellow card for them. Roger Signs, the former Norwich wide player. More a forward, not the young talent, but the fullback. And I'm not liking that easy that was for them just to get into that position and score. I was trying to select a player to get in the way of that pass or press the player on the ball, but the game just wouldn't let me. And there's 1-1. It's going to be one of those, I see game. It's going to be one of those. Fauna. It's 2-1. I told you it's going to be one of those. My least favourite types of games in FCs or FIFAs in the past where goals are just going in for the sake of them. But we're on the better end of it right now, so we're not going to complain too much, but it's 2-1. And let's continue and hopefully just get this one done, because like I said, these are usually my least type of, you know, games to play, because it's just kind of frustrating that you can't, no matter what you do, you just concede goals for no reason. They're going to score another kickoff goal. As we just scored one, they scored one, we answered back with one of our own. Me now counter and get the goal. Brahim. Lovely move and lovely ball through to Concordo Ramos, who could get a hat-trick inside 26 minutes of football. That's one way to start the game, getting a hat-trick inside 26 minutes. You'd have to see it. And Brahim with a great move there and a great assist, just patiently waiting for that ball through. And I believe we actually, speaking of Balogun, we actually signed him in a previous AC Milan career mode a few years ago, if I'm not mistaken, right? Maybe an SC24. I know I signed him in a career mode before, and I think it was AC Milan that we signed him in. It's ringing a bell. And playing off it, not used in a while, who actually wouldn't mind using again. He's always been a good player, so he's playing at Monaco. Up Somerville. And we wrap this one up before it's even began. Oh, not the best finisher from Brahim. It wasn't bad, just, you know, the keeper just didn't commit himself either side, so we could just step back across and get that. Up. To find Alberto. Ball in to find, looking for somebody, but Matt Magnon's going to collect it. And just comfortably play that out. Now Somerville. Lovely move there from him. The Dutchman. Flying forward, I've used that before, and he's still going, but it's denied by the goalkeeper. There's going to be a corner for his Modric to take, short to Brahim. Ball inside. Ramos with his fourth for the game's done. We're going to sim it at half time. We're through to the quarterfinals of the Europa League. Porto looked like they were going to give us a shootout in this game, but in the end, it has been a comfortable win for us. 4-1 at this point. Ramos with 4 goals. That one a nice little, you know, side-footed finish there. You know, nice little composed little bit of skill there for that finisher to see it. And it's, like I say, it's 4-1 to us. We're going to sim the rest of the game. Let's just do that right now. We're going to sim to the final whistle. And in the end, it's going to end up being a 5-1 win with Modric getting a goal for himself late on. Alright, so we got hit against Juventus in the Europa League. I was tempted to sim this game because we played Juventus already in today's episode. We beat them, you know, 5-1 in the end after simming it at 4-1. I thought, you know what, let's not take any risks in the first leg. Once this out. But across, Magnon with a save. We should have done much better there to defend that chance. Magnon, catch that, thank you. Brahim, not the quickest, so we're going to offload the ball to Ramos, who also went the quickest. Neither is Neymar, and the fastest player we could get the ball to, we don't even get the ball to. There's a big save from Magnon again. I don't like how one defender's further back, the other defender's the wrong side of Jonathan David. They're just allowing him space in between the two to get that ball down. I feel like my defence in this game's got a bit all over the place. Not because of my controlling of it, but because the game just made them... I'm clearly trying to pass that there to Brahim Diaz, who's directly to the right game. Again, what is that pass? Play it ahead of Brahim Diaz. Don't pass it behind him. Brahim wins it back. Andy Gregorio denies us, and that's going to be a goal. No, it's not going to be a corner. That isn't for Fortner playing that pass through. I mean, to be fair, I'm not going to sell it because knowing this game it wouldn't be better, but Magnon, what a save, and what a double save there for Magnon. But what I was going to say, if that was Modric or, you know, Brahim or Neymar playing that pass through, they have the incisive play styles. Why is Magnon doing there? Why is he coming out for that? It's so far out. There we go, great defender from Tomori. Somerville. Neymar forward. Back into Somerville. How have we not tied it up? How have we not tied it up? How have we not tied it up there? We're defending though, at least, from Scavini. So the passing at times is great, like it worked perfectly there. The passing I wanted to do was fine. And it's worked brilliantly up until this point right here. Somerville with the finish. Ball in, Tomori. I was going to say deals with it, but heads it straight to Thuram, who finds a Pender, who's just come on, and it's at the crossbar. And David thankfully puts that wide. If I conceded there, I don't even know. The temptation to just delete the game would have been there. Ramos. Okay, Modric is all alone here and has gone all the way. So don't come out to collect that, Magnon, but you come out to try and collect that corner. Makes sense. For a second I thought I was going to pass it straight to the Juve player. I wouldn't have been surprised, but here we go. Chukwueze, a one-on-one. Scores, get the ball. We're not celebrating, we should be ahead. We should be ahead in this game. Just don't play the pass then, Jimenez. Like, 90+1. If we concede at the end of this, after what just happened where I pressed pass and again didn't pass it, I know why. Big save for Magnon, but they almost happened. The scripting's unreal right now. Magnon makes that save, and that's going to be the final whistle. A 1-1 draw in the first leg. And I don't know whether it's a similar second leg or not, because we should have won this game fairly comfortably. Alright, so we go here in the second leg, and I was going to sim this, but I wanted the satisfaction of beating Juve myself, you know what I mean, instead of, like, you know, simulating the end of the game doing it. It seems there's a Grove in their team, so this, if this ends up being a fairly easy win, it's because of the land I put in, where it's, you know, a lot easier for us to beat them, but I gotta get maybe a free kick in the men. Puts it in though. We dealt with it just about. Neymar doing some defensive work there. Calafiori, someone doesn't get the ball there, but you know, Koopman has got the ball, offers a moment to go. And Conceição now, one-on-one with Magnon, denied by the Frenchman. Why are Juventus now all of a sudden actually a competent team? The two times we played them in the league, or you know, we played them in the league and in the Coppa Italia, we battered them. And now in the Europa League, all of a sudden they actually want to like play well. And Corda Ramos, awful attempt on goal. Calafiori, there we go. Somerville, Ramos, Neymar, through to Somerville, crossing to Somerville. It's 1-0 and 2-1 overall. We're going to get a ball. I'm not letting us celebrate until we are, you know, until this game's done. Ramos, Brahim, Neymar. The floodgates may well literally opened. Somerville's made it 3-1. And again, we're not celebrating until this game is done. Those of you that have watched the channel for a long period of time, you're not surprised by this attitude from me. This is the winning mentality, and you're still in all my teams that I take over. Especially after a disappointing performance previously. We need to step up. We need to lock back in. As we have been unbeatable this season. We've been unstoppable this season. We could have made it 3-0 right there. How have you not got the ball tomorrow? You didn't even put in the challenge, even though it was right there. Conceição. The attack net dribbling that he's known for. Tomori defends him. That's our time. 3-1 up overall. 2-0 on the night. Some lovely passing here, not going to lie. And, oh, if this ends up at a goal, how have you missed that, Neymar? How have you missed that? That just for the love of football needed to be a goal, because that passing was unbelievable. I feel like the AI usually take off their best player, you know, like playing against you, to bring on like someone who's not really going to do much. 3-0. Brahim smashes it in the back of the net. And this time we're going to celebrate because it's 4-1 overall. Juve, you had your luck in the other leg. But this one, I sat the lads down before the game and I've just said to them, you've disappointed not only the fans but me and yourselves. Go out there and be the Milan team that has ran riot this season since I took over as manager and made the signings were made. And it's 4-0, it's 4-1, 3-0 overall, so you know what's going to happen. Going to sim to the end. And a cathartic win, a 4-0 win in the end, because Concordia Ramos gets a goal late on. And we're through to the semi-finals of the Europa League. Fairly comfortably in the end, despite a disappointing first leg. And well, as you can see, we've been crowned champions of Serie A. We've also won the Coppa, oh, not won the Coppa Italia yet. We are most likely going to win the Coppa Italia. We won the Italian Super Cup. So that's 2 trophies we have won so far. We've got the Europa League semi-finals up next. The Coppa Italia final. As you can see, Luka Modric is stepping up to lift the trophy. You wonder why you didn't see the game? That's because we won the league title a while ago. You saw the league title early in today's episode. How far ahead we were of the league table. And I just simmed to the next home game. And we played it. And we won it. As you can see. And we have, you know, won the trophy, which is to see. But let's get into the Europa League semi-finals up next, and then the Coppa Italia final before or after the Europa League final. I'm not sure which way around they happen. And as you can see, for one of the final games of today's episode and season 1, we're taking on Bayer Leverkusen here in the semi-finals of the Europa League, in which the other semi-final was Sunderland v Rangers. And speaking of Sunderland, they could be a fun career to do up next. Obviously, they're going to lose Granit Xhaka most likely to Chelsea. They're going to get about 30 million for him, which is actually a fairly good price for Granit Xhaka, but losing him would be big. Well, I said, they've got some great players. Taubi's been great for Morocco at the World Cup. Obviously, Siddiqui and other great players. They've got obviously Habib Diarra. And depending on the signings they make, obviously, they do have Europa League football next season. That is why they are here at this stage of this competition. They've got a good team and could be a fun team for us to do. So drop in the comments down below if you would like to see a Sunderland Chromid in the future. But let's get into this one now. Up against Leverkusen and hopefully beating them here. You know, obviously, he did do a Chromid with towards the start of SC26 and was one of my favourite Chromid I've done on the channel. especially on SC26. As you can see, we're all playing in the rain for this game. So Gramado has just made a move to Atletico Madrid, which is a good move for him in my opinion. As he's playing under Diego Simeone. Teacher finger 2 to Alex Baena down the left hand side. Neymar is taken out from behind from a Leverkusen defender. So both two defenders are putting two awful challenges back to back. And that should be a red card for, I believe, Yaro Kwanzaa. It's going to be a yellow, but that should have been a red. If that's for the challenge on Ricardo Ramos, that should be a red card. Because that was a denial for a goal scoring opportunity. Last man as well. It might have been saved by the fullback being there. Unless that's the one on Neymar, I don't know, but we'll get a free kick here in a good position. But Leverkusen early in this game are putting two awful challenges. And look, you know, it's to be down to 10 men, but it could be down to one. They could be down one goal here. But then again, Neymar's free kicks in this scrum haven't been great due to the fact he's only got 74 shot power. But Neymar here, can he get one to go in? He hits it, Neymar, good attempt, and he scores it. Just as I gave a little bit of doubt. Neymar scores only his second goal in the Europa League. He's clearly not been scoring that many goals in this competition during the simulations, but as we know, he's been scoring a lot of goals for us in this series. He's been playing great in that cam role. And it will be great for us in Season 2 as well when we try to win the Champions League for a second time in Neymar's career. So he won it back at Barcelona in 2015, I believe it was, during the MSN days of their team. Messi, Suarez, Neymar, that deadly trio. And Neymar here though, now 34 years of age in the series, scores a great free kick to put us one goal up. Can we just wrap up this first leg, you know, before it even begins? Brahim Diaz, make it 2. Brahim makes it 2. We're finding that form again. We lost it for a little bit in today's episode. You know what I mean? That just unstoppable ruthlessness that we've had in the past 2 episodes of the series. And Brahim Diaz gets the goal. Neymar with the assist, and the rain isn't affected us. I believe this is the first time in this series we've played in the rain. I think we've been lucky with the weather in this series not to have the rain, you know, affected us, but right now it isn't. Scored in that game as well. If my memory isn't serving me wrong. Grimaldo through to Cafan, who shoots and puts it wide of the post. Guarded by Matt Magnon. And Neymar through to Somerville, who should be onside. I think I timed that perfectly. I have done. Somerville to beat his fellow Dutchman, does so. Flecken in goal. Concedes 3 inside 45 minutes. And Somerville, who we're known for a while, like every time I've used him in Chromas in the past, or, you know, or just any type of gameplay I've used him in, there's always just been incredible. We saw brief glimpses of it in did we use him in the West Ham series? Well, we used him in this series before, but we saw a brief glimpse of how good he was, and then we either sold him or something. I can't remember. I think we might have sold him in the Chromate at some point to keep it realistic. But Somerville in this one has been brought in as a player and has made it 3-0 to us, and that should be us into the Europa League final. So we're going to sim this. Ends up being 4-1 in the end. Obviously, there's one more leg to go, but we should win that fairly easily. 4-1 in the end. And I believe next up should be the Coppa Italia final. Alright, so we're going to hit against Cagliari in the final of the Coppa Italia. Obviously, they've got some decent players in the team, Cagliari. They're not a bad team, but they're not, you know, probably shouldn't be really that much of a challenge for us. Obviously, this is the first time we're playing against them in this series. We've simmed against them twice now. Here's Suleiman in the midfielder, who's fairly talented. Lopo plays at a wide. They're going to go start. Chelsea just made the move to Chelsea. He's going to be the right back next season, which probably opens the door for Mauro Gusto to leave. And I see he's been linked with Man City recently, as well as Eduardo Camavinga, who's been offered to them. Calafiori, Mulder, Somerville, Tomori, Modric, playing one of his final games for us. There's still one more game to go for us that we're going to play, which is the Europa League final. Ricardo Ramos to hit that, and it's going to be fairly comfortable save for Eddie Krapil. Obviously, he's a pretty good goalkeeper, I believe 80 rated. Get the ball there or anything there. Well, that's great football. Brahim Diaz smashes that in the back of the net. You just saw it line up there. It was picture perfect. It worked out exactly as I planned it. And Brahim strikes fairly early into this game to give us the lead against Bologna. This is the one thing Bologna needed to avoid. Us playing our best football. I see we're just coming to this game after battering Leverkusen in that semi-final first leg, in which we were wrapped up inside the first half, and now we're looking to do the same hit against Bologna. And Brahim, well, I believe he scored the first goal in that Leverkusen game, so that's a good omen for us. So he's a captain for this game. He'll be lifting the trophy if we go on to win it. And Ramos creates the space, hits it, but denied by the keeper. Capro, you know, may not be a bad backup goalkeeper for us. Oh, we just couldn't really get through there. Just didn't really open up for us where he needed to. Esposito, but hadn't challenged anything Calafiori against his fellow countrymen. And Charbonnet says not today for that. Today, Mark. But we'll recycle it. Brahim, carbon copy of the first. Almost a similar goal because Neymar this time gets a decision for a free kicking. Neymar's got the room. Neymar hits it and Neymar's denied. And Caprile's putting himself in the shop window for not only ourselves but also other teams next season, because he's made 5 great saves in this game. Oh no. Oh no. Suleimana. How is this game 1-1 at half time? That's a joke. Look at the added time as well. 48 minutes for a +1. How is this 1-1? Fofana wins it back though. I see, I've loved Fofana in midfield so far. Fofana, can he get himself a rare goal? Fofana denied. The fact this game is 1-1 is actually a crime against football. Like, the only plus side you can get to it is Caprile's played great. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only plus side you can have. Like, he's had a great game in goal, but the fact, like, we conceded the only shot of the game right on the brink of our time is diabolical. Neymar. Somehow Suleimana defends that. Ball through into the captain for the game, and that's Luka Modric. And we'll let Modric celebrate. I was going to say let's just skip the celebrations and go straight for another goal, but Modric is playing one of his final games here for us. And what I said earlier in today's episode, whoever we're bringing needs to be of a similar caliber to Modric, but we have Samuel Ricci right there. And as I was editing the episode of what I've recorded so far up until this game, I thought to myself, why don't I just say Ricci takes over next season? Because he's 82 rated, he's right there behind Modric, ready for that role. And he would be great for us. We have Yashari as well, Paqueta. There's Perez Chelsea planning his trade for Chelsea next season. Unless they loan him out to Strasbourg or something, which would be very Chelsea to do. You saw it there. You saw it again try. That's their second shot of the game. And guess what that would have been? A kickoff goal. But they get a corner. Esposito, a striker in, and that's over the bar. By Chardonnay in the centre back. Ramos lovely flicking behind. Can he score as well? Caprile. We're buying him next season. He needs to be a backup goalkeeper. He might have to be a first team goalkeeper in another series, honestly. I love that from Brahim. Ramos. Again with another save. That's like his 10th save. And they've all been, should have been goals. This is one of the most insane goalkeeper performances I've seen an AI goalkeeper put in, and that's saying something. And it is going to be a free kick. The referee just took his time to give it, even though they had the ball. Like, no, why not? Scavini. That was going in. And again, it's a great save from Caprile. Like, it's doing its best with India impression, you know, for Cape Verde in the World Cup in the first game against Spain. Just making save after save after save. Back post. It's another. Brother, someone drug test him after this game, like, genuinely. Like, because this is insane. Okay, don't even go to try and win that header or anything there. This game could be like 14-0 to us, honestly, and it probably should have been. But Caprile in goal. Actually, I need to focus up because knowing the way this game's gone, they're gonna equalise right here and send it through to extra time or penalties. The referee should call it, but he's not done. And Esposito shoots, and that goes wide to the post, thankfully for us. But they get... No, they don't. It's called it, thankfully. A 2-1 win. Despite Capro's in goal for Cavalieri, his best efforts would win the game. Only 2-1. But it should have been 10 plus goals for us. Let's cut to the trophy lift. And well, for the third time this season, we are seeing a trophy lift. The domestic treble has been won. The Italian Super Cup, the Coppa Italia, and the Scudetto, the league title. One more to go to the Europa League. But if you're Rafael or Christian Pulisic watching this, or Pulisic went to Real Madrid and Leao went to Bayern Munich, so they most likely won trophies this season. But if they're looking back at Milan right now, thinking I could have been part of this team and winning these trophies, you've got to question why they left. As we told them to keep it realistic, and the players we brought in have more than replaced them. And Modric, in one of his final games as a professional footballer, lists the Coppa Italia with one more trophy to go. Can he wrap up his career with a quadruple here at Milan? And well, here is a look at the predicted lineup for the game we're going to be taking on against Sunderland in the Europa League final. Brian Brobby up front, Chris Riggin, the camera, Traore at right mid. I imagine Tyler B will play there, and I imagine Gachari will be playing centre back. Enzo Lefebvre might come into the team. Habib Diarra, see him and Sadiki at the end recording this both went out of the World Cup. I see Diarra with Senegal went out of the World Cup, and also Diarra went out with DR Congo with against England. But I actually want to have a quick look how Sunderland did in the Premier League. That's one thing I want to check real quickly before we get into this one. We head over here to standings and we go to simulated leagues. We go to the Prem, and Sunderland not in the top 6, so a worse finish than they had in real life. They're currently 11th in the table on 46 points, as you can see, and no chance to really get into Europa League football. But let's have a quick look through the Prem table. Any surprising things? Not really. Maybe, I'm trying to think who is surprising they finish as low as they did. Maybe Newcastle not having a better season. I think they could do better next season. Spurs finally finishing in the top. Well, not going to say that just yet because they have a game to play, but they should win that. But as you can see, it looks like Man City are going to win the title under Enzo Maresca, defeating Mikel Arteta's Arsenal, who have had an awful season. But I'm getting sidetracked here. But we need to get our focus back onto the Europa League final up against Sunderland in Turkey. Let's get into this and hopefully beat them here. Carl, a play that I would like to use. I see a Bayern Munich series. It would be fun to do because they've got a great team, but it just would be, it wouldn't be hard to win trophies. Brahim Diaz, denied by Rose. Obviously, Eddie Capril just played a great game against us in the Coppa Italia final, making 14 saves, I believe it was in the end. And all of them were, on target. Modric, out of right as well there. He's been tracked down here by Crescencio Somerville. Here's Talbi, the Moroccan. He's a great talent. Talbi charging forward, and that's going to be straight through to Magnon. I was a little bit worried there for a second when that flashed past Tomori. As a link up with former coach Xabi Alonso again. Would be great for them. And that's a big header missed by Enzo Lefebvre. And Ronald Koeman's been, he's sacked or he's left the job. Talbi, Brobby. Off the crossbar, thankfully for us, and we can't keep that in play. Just bringing out Magnon, just gave Brobby that little bit of a second guessing himself on that shot. And now the Rete's header goes wide of the post. But Sunderland are giving this a good challenge here. I'll play it here to Somerville. Back here to Concordo Ramos, and that's a save there from Ruben Rose. Somerville. Neymar. Comes into Fofana. That's a save again from the Dutchman. Always just straight and playing against a player that you know how good they are. You know what I mean? From that Fiorentina series, we know just how good Ruben Rose is as a goalkeeper. So we messed that up there. The trickster didn't really kick in there. It just did a normal flick up, which didn't do anything for us. There goes Talbi. Zanik Call ahead of him, doesn't play it. No, actually Zanik Call's behind him. It's Enzo Lefebvre ahead of him. There goes Talbi. That's great defending from Tomori. Moroccans. Zanik Call. defending Nathan Tomori to defend against a young, talented German creative midfielder who's obviously set the world alight, part of that Bayern Munich squad this season. Kind of broke onto the scene. It's a bad pass there though. Disheartening after not scoring 10 plus goals last game that we should have done as a team. Ball in. Speaking of goals, they almost scored there. Probably should have done better there, but Magnon makes a save. Somerville. Ramos. And to Neymar. Neymar through to Crescencio. Somerville. Brings it back. Hits it goalwards, but Rose again with the save. It's a good ball through to Fantalabi. The Moroccan tried to cut it back, but it's blocked there by Tomori. This game's going to penalties, I can tell you that for free. Unless we score a late winner, or they score a late winner, which would be heartbreaking, because we want to win this to win the quadruple. And we deserve it. After the season we've had, we should win this game. And some of us are so unlucky that we'll get a corner. I said as if we can score corners. We haven't really scored anything from corners. Somerville. Neymar. Not really a movement I needed there from him, but back here to Somerville. Can maybe score here, but Rose again with a save to deny his fellow countryman with Nkunku coming down that left mid. I was also thinking bringing on Chukwueze. I'm going to give Ibrahim a little bit more time in this game because he's been doing well. Somerville's been doing great as well, but he's knackered. The same with Ibrahim. Neymar, by the way, and Modric. Their stamina is completely drained, but also we need Modric for the trophy lift. We need Neymar for penalties if it goes there, and also just for the ability to try and win this game. And Nkunku, we haven't really seen much of him. But now down the left hand side here for us. It's blocked there by Hume. And Modric. Neymar. Oh, that would have been unbelievable if that went in. It's so close as well in 90. As he's looking lively to start this game off down the left. I say to start this game off since it's come on. And Nkunku hits that. And Mukiele. It's possible from a Leipzig teammate. Nkunku will defend well there again. Neymar, please. Oh, just got caught up on our director. Is it going to be a free kick for us? It's going to be a free kick for them, of course it is, man. And that is, I should have paused it and made changes because it's the last moment. No, it ain't. Neymar, your legs are knackered. Free kick. Yes, okay, we're going to make a few changes first of all. Alright, so the changes made for penalties, but the last literal moment of the game to win the Europa League. Neymar off the wall, and we don't win the header, and it's somehow going to go to penalties this game. And Neymar, the first penalty is Neymar to step up, could have won it for us from that free kick, but hit the wall due to the 74 shot power issue. He scores his pen, no issue with that. Habib Diarra down the middle, and Nkunku played great since coming on. Buries his pen top right. It went down the middle. Bertrand Traore. I guess left. I should have been a save. Berardi, what he came on to do. Can you score it? Yes, he does. It went middle, left. Xhaka. He's going middle. He went left again. If I went left, he would have gone middle. Modric, their captain, just scored. And our captain. Yes, he does, just about. Brian Robbie. Middle, left. Misses, but I guess right anyway. To win the Europa League. Gonçalo Ramos steps up. No, it's Lucas Paqueta, sorry. Yeah, I thought that was Gonçalo Ramos. Paqueta. Denied. But to win the Europa League. Oh my God, down the middle. Watch this happen. How's this happened? We had it all wrapped up there. Jimenez scores. Save it, we win. Save it, we win. They've gone middle, left, 3 times. They went right, they missed. Alderete goes right. Magnon with a save. And we win the Europa League 0-0 after 90 minutes. But win it on pens. It should have been over in 90 minutes. We should have won it. Well, obviously 0-0 after extra time as well. But it's done. And well, here we are, the trophy celebrations, the final ones of the season. And Luka Modric, for the last time in his career, he retires at the end of the season, which is one more game to go, which is a league game that we're going to sim. But he lists the Europa League. I've seen many Champions Leagues to his name. But this is the first ever Europa League. He has won the quadruple here for us. The domestic treble plus the Europa League. Setting us up for a big season 2 where we're going to go all out for the Champions League. And prove that Milan are back and the best team in the world. And it wasn't easy. It was stressful. It was dramatic. But in the end, the outcome is the outcome it always should have been. And that is Milan win the Europa League. Alright, so that's going to call it for the end of Season 1. And as usual, we're going to check out the stats of the players and how they performed. And first of all, Magnon, in 60 games, he's played all the games this season. And that's why I feel like we don't need to sign a backup goalkeeper next season, because he can just play every single game. But Terry Giuliano, his contract is expiring. He's gone down to -2, so we would like to get a better backup goalkeeper just in case Magnon does get injured. You know what I mean? He's got 19 clean sheets and 1 assist to his name. But in terms of the attacking stats, Enquiries Ramos, in 39 games, has got 39 goal contributions, 30 goals and 9 assists, 15 goals in the Serie A, 10 in the Europa League, which is mental. Jimenez has had a great season. It didn't score many goals, Milan, up until I took over, but he's now got 18 goals and 5 assists. And Kunku, 18 and 9, had a great season in that second team. And Neymar, 17 goals and 15 assists. You love to see it. Somerville 14 and 7, Chukwueze 13 and 9, Brahim 10 and 9, Modric 8 and 8 in his final ever season. Retires at the end of the season. I wish we could keep him for one more season, because he's been incredible in this team. I would love to keep him in that midfield because he is so good still in the game. But that's going to call it for this episode. I'll see you next season. Modric is leaving us. We're going to be in the Champions League, and we're going to look to try and win that. But the team pretty much stays the same, other than, you know, Modric leaving and Ricci probably taking over in that position, if that's what you guys want to see happen for the squad. We could improve backup wise in the team. We could definitely do that. Obviously, we need to, like I say, bring in the backup goalkeeper. We definitely need a backup right back to Gusto, because Solomakers has been our backup right back this season in the second team. He can play there, yes, but he's not a right back. So we definitely need to sign a backup right back for that position. But other than that, drop a like and subscribe to enjoy the episode. And as always, thank you for watching. Drop your suggestions for other chromas you want to see us do in the future, players you want to see us sign in this team. And like I said, as always, drop a like and subscribe to enjoy the episode. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Alright, so last season I took over as AC Milan manager, a team that disappointed in the previous season. I took them not only to an Italian Super Cup in my first season, but also, as you'll see here in a second, we took them to the Scudetto, winning this as well. Or this might be the Coppa Italia, I'm not too sure which one this is. But we also did go on to win the Coppa Italia as well as the league title. So domestic treble was won. But on top of that, we won the Europa League in Modric's final season of professional football. You'll see the stats of the players here in a second. I mean, incredible seasons. That's Gonçalo Ramos, Neymar, Somerville, etc. being incredible for us. But let's get into Season 2 and improve the team even more to go on to win the Champions League this season. And well, as you just saw the quick wrap up of Season 1, here we are in Season 2, and as you can see, the team has only got one change. Modric has retired, and Samuel Ricci is taking over that centre midfield role in the team. The Italian now partners up with Fofana in the central midfield positions. But as you can, one thing I want to talk about real quickly is the suggestions you guys had last episode for changes to the team and new signings for the team. First things first, Neymar isn't going anywhere. He is the cam of the team, he's the captain, And at this stage, it's kind of like Messi and Ronaldo. I still yet to use them in this game, which I want to do pretty soon. It's at that stage where like there's not much time left to use them, and I want to get as much out of Neymar as possible since we brought him into the series. I'm not going to sign him in another series. I'm not going to use him again probably for the rest of SC26. So I don't want to drop him from the team, even if he's like not if he's not performing well this season. Then sure we'll drop him to the bench, etc. But last season he got 17 goals and like 16 assists, was unbelievable for us in that cam role. And Brahim Diaz at right mid was actually very good for us. He's not the quickest, Brahim Diaz at right mid, but his technical ability is what helps us a lot down there, and he gets a lot of goals in that position, and also does well to link up the play and basically the correct goals and just work with the team. Another signing you guys did suggest is bringing in Ibanez as a backup defender to Tomori. The issue is Ibanez is higher rated than both Tomori and Scalvini. He's 84 rated, so he would have to be a first team centre back, which would mean Scalvini will drop to the bench in this team, which we don't need to do because Scalvini is absolutely incredible and he's a big young talent we're developing, part of this squad and wanting to win the Champions League with him in the team. And the only position that I feel like I could make a world-class signing in is maybe midfield, as I do like Fofana. He is good, but there have been links with him leaving AC Milan to go to Fenerbahce, so maybe dropping him to the bench this season, and buying a world-class centre midfielder to play alongside Ricci would be amazing for this team. And also Somerville has been playing great for us because signing a world-class left midfielder. But the issue is then we have to drop, Somerville to the bench, and then we'd have to either sell Salamakers or Nkunku, as both of these are going to be left midfielders for us this season. And I don't really necessarily want to sell either of them because they both are pretty good in game. I like them both. So I'm in an interesting spot. I've got 150 million. And despite, other than having to sign a backup goalkeeper and a backup right back, I don't want to really spend it on the first team. Other than maybe a world-class midfielder to replace Fofana, because like I said, I do like him. He is good in game, but I feel like maybe a world-class centre midfielder would be incredible for this team. Alright, so as you can see, we've been fairly busy in the transfer window so far. We have sold Fofana and Gabbia, because Fofana in real life is actually being linked with a move away. He's not plans for Ruben Amorim to be in the team, and he's been linked with Fenerbahce. He's been linked to move to Saudi. We've got 52 million for him from Bayern Munich, which is a very, very good offer for him. And Gabbia has left to Aston Villa for 35.5 million. We have spent some of the money though on bringing in Jean-Claude Todibo from West Ham to be a backup centre back, replacing Gabbia in the team. Kessié returns to AC Milan, as you guys wanted to see him join the team, and Alex Freeman joins to be the second team right back to Modo Gusto and learn underneath him. I see AC Milan known for having the American players, Pulisic. They've also had Yunus Musa part of their ranks, and Freeman, who's been impressive for the United States team. I see good talent at Villarreal, a big player that people are looking at buying right now in the transfer window in real life. He's going to join us here to be a backup right back, but that means we have a spot to fill in the team and a lot of money to do so. 176 million. And if I decide to do what I'm thinking about doing, and the title and thumbnail already shows you who I'm going to bring in to replace that centre mid position, and I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm just going to go mental, sign a big player. I don't do this too often, so I feel like I might as well treat myself and sign a big unknown player for the team. So let's get that done. Let's spend the money to bring in a player that you see on the title and the thumbnail into that centre midfield position. And as you can see, signing from Real Madrid, a team which sold two players to an Adrian Rabiot and Pulisic, we are bringing in Federico Valverde into the team, the 28-year-old 90 rated Uruguayan central midfielder who has the box-to-box double plus as a player role already. Obviously a fantastic midfielder, well versatile, can attack and defend. So he can play right back, can play right mid. And a player that's been in some controversy recently with Uruguay, with Real Madrid, but we're going to bring him in here to Milan to be our new box-to-box midfielder alongside Ricci in that centre midfield of our team. And he's going to be a big player to take us to that next level to try and win the Champions League. And well, as you can see, for the debut of Fede Valverde, we're taking on Manchester City here in the UEFA Super Cup final. They won the Champions League, we won the Europa League last season. And it's a chance for us to prove that we're in here to take over to the next level and win that Champions League this season that AC Milan haven't won in a very, very long time. See Fede Valverde making his debut. But let's quickly check out the Man City team we are going to be facing. As you can see, it's Doku, Haaland, Savinho, seemingly, or Semenyo, Foden, Gonzalez, Rodri, Nuri, Marquinhos, Gvardiol, Mateus Nunes, Donnarumma. Turkey is suspended. They've got a former Milan player into Johnny Reinders, a former Inter player into Ram on the bench as well. Gehi, that is a very strong bench. Ruben Diaz, Reinders, Marcus Thuram, Gehi, Semenya, Mamouche, Ake, and many more players. Let's get into this one and hopefully defeat this incredible Man City team to win the Super Cup here to start the season off with a big win after bringing in Valverde into the team. Running forward. Haaland back out wide as a Doku. Malagusto's there to try and stop him, but Doku's still going. Plays it back to Foden, and someone back into Doku, deflected, blocked, and we get it away just about there. Bit of a shaky stop. Oh, why did you stop that run, Gusto? Yeah, Doku into Haaland. Haaland still going here. Gusto with him. So ain't going to win the strength battle. But as well, and that's going to go through to Magnon just about there. I could have ended up anywhere, but thankfully it goes to Magnon. Link up the players we usually do, but hopefully we can find the rhythm. Speaking of that, Neymar and Enquiries Ramos beats his former PSG teammate and scores against another. And it's 1-0. Just over 30 minutes in. Enquiries Ramos, who was the player of the season last season in the Serie A, scored 30 goals in all competitions, got 9 assists in 39 games for us last season after bringing him in due to the real life transfer that happened us today. They spent 74 million on him in real life. We spent only 35 million, something like that, on him to bring him into the team. But he's been well worth the money and more. Obviously, he took us to 4 trophies, and this season is looking to win us another straight away in the Super Cup and beat the reigning Champions League champions in Man City here. And obviously, with Valverde in our squad, we need to do so after spending 150 million on him. That's going to be, you know, a lot of money to spend on a player, and if it doesn't work out, that will be looked at as a waste of money on a world-class player who just didn't work out for us. Doku looking for a kick-off goal for Man City to get him back level. Would not be surprised if he gets it. Doku. Ball across. Tomori is there though, before any Man City players could get there. Okay, I did do a pass to a Calafiore, but the game said no. We're going to concede. It's coming. We're definitely going to concede, but hopefully it's not before half time. And it's after we've got a goal to get a 2-1 lead, as we can't play that through. Javodio does well to defend that. Now Doku defended there by Brahim, and it's 1-0 up at half time to us. We take the lead into the break. Good work there from Tomori. And how has that been intercepted? Foden plays it through. Magnon better get there. Thankfully Tomori says to sweep it up. The goal is coming for City. The game is giving them all the chances in the world to get it. And it's going to come sooner rather than later. Neymar flicks it on to Brahim. Brahim, a player I wish we kept at City longer. He's a fantastic player. Ramos cuts it back. Ricci. Neymar. We're just kind of overcomplicating this. And Somerville just couldn't quite turn there. Haaland. Gets ahead of Scavini. Plays it into Foden. The Foden is denied. Thankfully, oh my god. Oh, what is this game doing, man? You can tell it's doing everything possible to give them a goal. Because how did Calafiore not clear that? I've told him to, and he didn't do so. For my teammates at Real Madrid, linking back up in the Milan colours. And Fede Valverde is taken out from behind. Before he could pass that to Ramos. And it's going to be a free kick for us. And it's a yellow card for Mark Gehi, who came on off the bench. I'm saying that probably could have been a red, but the referee is not going to give a red. And Valverde does have the shot power for this. If I were to just smash this goalwards, you know, why not? Why not? He who dares wins is an old saying. You know, if you watch Only Fools and Horses, you know that. Fede Valverde, can he smash this? It's not a bad effort. A bit more. If I aimed more to the right there, that might have troubled Donnarumma. And Doku coming forward. He's been a danger all game, and here he goes, the Belgian. Gusto with a block, and that's going to be a corner. Semenyo. Calafiore with a strength as well, but almost passes it straight to Haaland. Why is he flicking the ball up in the air? Okay, that worked somehow. Make the run. Somerville. Fede Valverde on his debut scores to seal the game. Last kick of the game we get the second goal. It's been such a poor game. Not performance-wise for me, it's just been a poor game. It's been so scrappy, so sluggish, it's unenjoyable to play. But we win it in the end. A 2-0 scoreline. We've not had many chances, but we're taking the ones we've had. And Valverde on his debut scores a goal. You love to see it. So win as a trophy. Obviously, the other goal from Goncalo Ramos has done the job, and some great defending, some big saves from Magnon, Tomori, Calafiori, Gusto. Scalvini not so much. He's not really much defending to do himself, but it's been a stressful game. I will tell you that for free. You've seen it yourself. The amount of times Man City had just, bounces go their way, weird deflections. That chance with Foden had like 3 opportunities on goal when Calafiori could have cleared it and didn't do so. We'll win the UEFA Super Cup, our 5th trophy, as a Milan manager. We won 4 last season. This is our first in season 2 of a possible other 4 to win, along with this one, which will be incredible for us to do so. But as you can see, Neymar steps up as captain for AC Milan for the first time and gets to lift the UEFA Super Cup. Hopefully this season we're going to see him lift not only the Super Cup but the Coppa Italia, Italian Super Cup, the Serie A title, the Scudetto, and also the Champions League. What a start here to season 2 by beating C, but we're not done yet. Let's get into what's next. And well, next up is our first game of the league season in the Serie A. So we're the reigning defending champions and we're looking to retain that this season. First of all, we're going to beat Como here for the first game of the season. Let's get into this one. Now, I was kind of tempted for this game to start some of our new players, but I want to get the season off to a good start. We're going to beat Como here, hopefully. And I think for this game, I will bring also... Who could I take on the bench? I think Brody, I'm not going to use him that much. No, let's take off Salamakers for this game and bring Bartoszewski with us, and he can maybe come out left back in the second half if all things are going well, if we need to. Because I want to bring on Freeman. I want to bring on Bartoszewski. We're going to give a chance to this season. This season. I want to give a chance to. And also Kessier. And we could bring on at some point in this game. Let's get into this one though. Up against Como, and hopefully continue our great start to the season. It's a very, very fun chroma to do. We've done a couple now on our channel with them. In the series, by the way, they have sacked Cesc Fabregas. They're no longer managed by him because they finished like 14th in the league. So their team in the game is not as high rated and as good as it is in real life. And they probably have sold some of their bigger players. And Nico Paz doesn't seem to be part of the team unless he's on the bench. But it's a poor shot and should be the better save there for Magnon. Great in that centre midfield role as I expected. But Neymar is through here. And Neymar has a chance to make it 1-0. And Neymar's denied. My least favourite type of gameplay again. I just can't get the ball through right now. Some more good work. Neymar. Samuel Ricci. Through to Goncalo Ramos. Great reverse ball there from him. And it's 1-0. And who else would it be other than Goncalo Ramos to score again? He scored first against Man City. He scores again here to open up the scoring in this one. Away from home in Como. Instead of Como fans have seen their team rise in real life, but in the series they've dropped down massively from where they are in current positions. They let go of Nico Paz to go back to Real Madrid and they bought him back for 60 million. Madrid made a lot of money doing that. They brought him back for like what, 9 million or something like that, and then sold him for 60. That's a lot of money to get back on him. They probably even have a buyback clause again on him that they can do. But Ramos here scores against them. No Nico Paz in this squad. No Cesc Fabregas as manager, and it shows. Not wider. Going flicks it inside of Calafiori, and that's over the bar there. Como plays ahead of him fine. So Fede Valverde, who can hit them from range. Tomori heads that straight away to a Como player, Perón. Cunha. Through into Duvicus, who's hit a crossbar. So a little sign there that we, aren't safe. Kessier back in Milan. Gets the ball away. It's just been one of those games. It's been one of those days so far on this game. Shot taken, Magnon with a save to beat the defender. Tomori. Ball through to Somerville. Somerville. Brahim denied by Boutez, even though I'm aiming to the right. He's shot it all the way to the left. Why is Brahim going over there now? I didn't even tell him. Brother, this game. But it's through, but it might work out in the end. Brahim Diaz scores. This has been such a frustrating experience in this game right now, man. Like, it just feels so just scrappy. Best way to describe it. This feels poor. It's like, I don't know. The update, maybe it's just the fact Como and Man City play high pressing football and it's going to be different against other teams, but I doubt it. Why? That tends to happen when there's an update on this game. But Kessié, Somerville, and that's apparently not going to be a foul. Neymar sombrero flick, couldn't get a shot away. But how is that not a foul and a penalty? Just, it's a 2-0 win against Como. Again, just an unenjoyable experience, but we get the win. And I guess that's all that matters in the end, but its gameplay is definitely going to be infuriating this season. I can feel that already. Alright, so for the final game of today's episode, we're taking on Bologna. That is because we are on deadline day, so I'm going to end the episode after this game, and you guys can decide on any more transfers we need to make in the team. And the game just isn't doing what I'm telling it to do. So we did defeat Bologna last season in the Coppa Italia final. But you can just feel the gameplay is going back to that Harambo, high pressing, just... You can just tell by just the attack that I'm on right now, but we've done well. Gonçalo Ramos. Denied by Shodakis. Good defender from Calafiori. Somerville. Not a great start to the season, I will say that. Neither has this man, Somerville. But a cross finds Ramos. It's a good pass. And again, it is Gonçalo Ramos who's scored a big goal today for Portugal to send them through to the next round of the World Cup against Croatia. He came off the bench and scored the winner after Ronaldo scored a penalty. And here Ricci just picks him out and dragged back past it into the space. And you can see it, a great finish there from Ramos. And again, he scores his third goal in this episode. He's unstoppable right now and proving why he's our best player in the team. Charging forward. And Modigus does some more there, but they still have possession. And it's back here to him. He's just passed it straight to Scalvini. Now Crescent says Somerville. Here he goes. Not a great start to the season. But he's done brilliantly here. Across to try and find Ramos, but the keeper came and got something on it. Why did he flick it back up in the air? Why? The game should only do that if you tell the player to do it, and I didn't tell him to do that. How has that got through? Magnon, thank you for saving it, because how did that get past Tomori? Neymar through to Somerville. Into Gonçalo Ramos, who has Fede Valverde with him, who's denied. There's Rowe coming forward. I feel like Bologna are going to get a draw from this game somehow. Scalvini, great defending. He's had a great game. That was meant to go out wide to Chukwueze, but if he continues that run, I'll play it through to him. A great ball by Jimenez to find Chukwueze, who scores to make it 2. The gameplay right now, all 3 games have been the exact same. It's all to the same blueprint. Score 1 goal around 20 minutes in, 30 minutes in. And then nothing really for the next 40 minutes of football, up until the 70th minute when you score another goal. Towards the 90th minute as well, somewhere around there you get the second. And the whole time you're just ping-ponging the ball around midfield, trying to just create something. That seems to be the blueprint this game is right now, which is not great. For the past couple of scrimmers as well, like it's been, you know, it's been a while since I've not enjoyed the gameplay. Like it's been, we get what? Magnon, thank you for saving that, because I couldn't tell you what we gave a free kick for there. I didn't see a handball, I didn't see a foul, didn't see anything. That would have been a free kick. Paqueta. And Kunku, Jimenez, and then Kunku link it up again. And let's see Kunku driving through. And then Kunku makes it free. And then Kunku as a left midfielder, as an inside forward. This is something to take note of. For you guys at home watching this, maybe try it yourselves, because he is great in that role. We saw it towards the end of last season when I gave him a chance there. He played great last season in the second team. Scored a bunch of goals, got a bunch of assists as a cam. But a left midfielder, as an inside forward, he might be doing well here. He might do well here this season. We'll make it work. Valverde gets the ball back. Can we get one more goal before the end of the game? I would love that. I can't even speak. It would be cathartic to see another goal. Jimenez. That's incredible, but of course he takes a heavy touch for no reason when I wanted to pass that. It's a 3-0 win against Bologna here. We've got one more goal in the past 2 games in this one. But the gameplay still felt the same. Still felt AI heavy. Still felt, you know, all over the place a bit. But that's this game, to be fair, these days, most of the time. But we get the win. And Ricci, by the way, man of the match. Couldn't tell you why. I mean, I guess he did well passing-wise in midfield and maybe did some good defending. But fair play to him for getting that, because I couldn't tell you why he got it. He just had a good game in midfield, it seems like. It's a good win for us. Undefeated, 2 wins in the league, 1 in the Super Cup. Alright, so that's going to call it for the end of today's episode. And the team right now is looking great. And one thing I might do next episode is play Ricci as a box-to-box alongside Valverde, because he does have the box-to-box plus that I gave him last season. He's still developing as a playmaker with that role there. But yeah, I feel like having 2 as a box-to-box midfielders together could work out well for us. And it could be good for us, which we're definitely going to try next episode. And Ricci has done alright in the team in today's episode. It's not been bad, it's not been you know, revolutionary. It's been alright. Could say the same about Fede Valverde. We've not really seen the best of him so far, but it's been good in that position. It's definitely shown his quality. He's scored a goal or 2 for us. I think has he scored twice or scored once? Not too sure. But we need to make use of that power shot plus as well. But the main issue with that is there's just no room to get long shots away now. With this new update, the gameplay is so just fast-paced, tightly congested, heavy press, haram ball. It's back to that again. And I don't know why EA are so obsessed with doing that. They give you fun gameplay for a little bit and then just ruin it again. And it's just what they do. You know what I mean? At this point, it's just what they do. They give you fun, they take it away, they make you wait for it, they give it you back, and you're like, oh, I've missed this, this is great. They take it away from you again, and vice versa. But the teams right now are looking great. We do still have about 56 million to spend on new transfers. So let me know in the comments down below if you think we should buy anyone. Right now, I feel like we don't really need to bring in anyone for the team. We've got great players. We've got good backups. We've got good first team players. You guys suggest to sell Estepinian. I'm going to keep him because Bozdisegos is only 74 rated, and in simulations that isn't the best for winning games. So Estepinian is going to play a bunch of the bigger games in simulations where the second team plays, and also Calafiori first team left back, and Bozdisegos is going to play a good amount of games for us this season. Definitely going to give him some chances. The same with Alex Fruman at right back. But in terms of goals and assists, Concordo Ramos, as you can see, 3 goals in 3 games. Brahim's got a goal, Valverde and Kunku, Chukwueze. And in terms of assists, Ricci's got 2 assists in 3 games, okay? Somerville 2 assists, Jimenez 2 assists, Neymar with 1 for himself so far. I'm looking on to get a couple more, to be fair. He had some chances that players didn't convert that he made. And he's still looking great in the team, Neymar. I do feel like he should still be around 83 rated. Like, him going down to an 81 after drop, 17 goals and 15 or 16 assists last season, goes down to -2. How does that make sense? Like, it should say, in terms of form, this is excellent. That means the players should be, going up, if not staying at the same overall they were the whole time. It says that, right? I feel like that should be the case for older players, but it isn't, unfortunately. It's going to continue to go down in overall, but he's still playing great in the team, and I'm still enjoying him as part of the squad. But like I said, that's going to call it for this one. If you're going to enjoy it, despite the frustrating gameplay I had to go through for today's episode for you, drop a like and subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching, and goodbye. Alright, so for the first game of today's episode, I think it's going to be quite a bit of a time jump from last episode to this one. We are now in November because we've had some fairly easy fixtures in the league and the Champions League so far. This is our third game of the league phase. We're going to be taking on Man City, a team we beat last episode to win the UEFA Super Cup. They won the Champions League last season. We won the Europa League, and we're looking to beat them again. You guys did suggest last episode that we switch to the 4-2-1-3. The issue with this is because it's FC26 and they've got the role system in, Brahim Diaz can't play an inside forward at right wing despite having a right wing, position. And, that is the case. And also, Valverde and Ricci can't play box crasher at CDM. I mean, Ricci can, he has that, but Fede Valverde can't, despite having CDM as a position, and box to box pretty much the exact same thing as a box crasher, which is why I need them to get rid of the role system. It's been talked about, and the player roles and stuff, and the play styles would be great as well. It's been talked about so much, but it's just so frustrating. Just having a player just playing a position they have as a position in their thing, but they don't have any roles for that position. It makes no sense to be a 90 rated midfielder, someone the caliber of Federico Valverde, and he can't play a single position at CDM or a single role at CDM. It makes no sense. But let's get into this first game now. A little rant out of the way. Up against Man City, and I think despite last episode being a frustrating one, I'm going to stick to the 4-4-1-1 for now. Going to see how that goes for us, because obviously we do have the roles in the team for the players to play in these positions to their best ability. Let's get into this one, and hopefully we're not going to have the really AI slop gameplay we had last episode in this one. But I've got a very strong feeling we are going to do so, which is going to be frustrating. Well, let's get into it. And if you're wondering what I am talking about, basically towards the end of season 1 there was an update for this game. You'll see in the final, if you watch the final couple of games of the wrap up of season 1, which we went on to win the Europa League, Coppa Italia, the league title, etc., you'll see the gameplay took a switch from being attacking football that I was enjoying to being AI, heavy high press, nothing really happening, that type of stuff right there. And you'll see it in literally the final 4 games of the episode. You see it switch, especially in the final 2 games of the video. You see me literally even think about it and talk about it myself in the video. The gameplay has gone massively downhill in the most recent patch, and it's gone back to this super AI, high press, just slop fest of gameplay that just feels more like ping pong than anything, and just no real control over the game, no real fluidity. And Marquinhos blocks off Neymar there, and it seems like that's what we're most likely going to be stuck with towards the end of SD26. They're going to keep us with this. Obviously the gameplay, the reason why I'm so annoyed about it is because the gameplay for the past month, right, if you go back and watch every video that I posted in the past month, you'll find me not really complaining about the gameplay, because I've been enjoying it, and it's been so fun. Especially at the start of the series, the first couple of episodes, the gameplay in this series has been great. But Brahim, why did he stop that run there? We're going to have to hit that because he stopped his run. I hate recording videos when the gameplay is like this, because I'm just sat here just sad and just frustrated. And it's not fun for you guys to watch, but just sit here and listen to me just frustrated. I know that isn't fun, but it's the only emotion I have when a game plays like this when I play this game. That's what this game's been so far, back and forth in midfield, both teams trying to get forward and the other team can't. But here we go, Somerville for the first time in this game, a real chance for us. Of course, just passes it to Giovanni instead of trying to pass it around him into Neymar. And that's what this game is now. And that is why I'm frustrated. That's why I'm going to complain, because this is what the game is now. Somerville. Brahim shoots. Donnarumma makes a save. That's the first real chance of the game, and only the second shot of this game for both teams combined. Somerville. Neymar into the space. Neymar can hit it, but Donnarumma denies him. It's going to be one of those games where Donnarumma's going to be unbeatable, isn't it? Neymar. Lovely move. Giovanni stops him that time. No. There's just no one there to pass it to, so I had to try and force it around him. I couldn't do so. Neymar. Putting out the tricks. Oh, but just too many people there. It's actually Scalvini, sorry, could have won the ball there. It was there to be won. I don't know why he took out Doku. And Foden. Interesting cross. Collected by Calafiori in the end. And now, here we go, Brahim Diaz, the former Man City man. Waiting for the run of Somerville, who got taken out off the ball. That's a red card, surely. That's only going to be a yellow, apparently, for Marquinhos. It's an off-the-ball foul. Is she just... like... It's the 85th minute. Man City just had their first shot of the game. It was a nothing shot as well. Fede Valverde. Of course. Ramos, please be on side. He was, but he couldn't control the ball. Come on. Can we get a last minute winner? That would be so cathartic because nothing's happened all game. We had a few chances. Somerville, of course. It's a 0-0 draw. Fun. I just sat here for 12 minutes of real life time, achieving nothing. Look at that. That is SC26 now. And this is what SC26 has been for 3/4 of the game cycle. This gameplay. Alright, so after that absolutely boring and frustrating opening game to the episode, let's now take on Atalanta in the league. They're fourth. We are currently joint top of the table with Roma. We're having a pretty good season so far, keeping pace with us in the league title race. Let's get into this one now up against them and hopefully defeat Atalanta here at home, but we're going to play in the away kit because of the kit clash otherwise in this game. Some of it looked up from you, great bit of skill, but the shot is straight at Kamil Grabara now, the goalkeeper for Atalanta. It seems no Konizeki in goal these days. It is a Polish shot stopper, Neymar. Love that from you. Ramos can turn, Ramos can shoot, and Ramos can score. In 90 minutes of football, we couldn't get a goal against City, but here against Atalanta, we got one. It's at the first 12 minutes, and it's Concorda Ramos who gets the go-ahead goal for us. And who else would it be, to be fair? 30 goals and 9 assists in 39 games from last season, becoming the player of the season in the Serie A in his debut season for us in the team. And now here in his second season, continuing that form. 6 goals, I believe, in 7 games, I think I said, or something like that anyway. And Ramos makes it 1-0. That's a great bit of skill for Neymar. We take the lead, courtesy of Ramos' goal. I see he scored a big goal for Portugal as well the other day. Shots to Ketelar. There he is, another player that I've always enjoyed using in career mode. Plays it through, and he's obviously a former Milan player, and Samardzic is denied there by Mike Maignan. It would have been a kick-off goal there for Atalanta. That would have been frustrating to concede, but not surprising. Well, Neymar, you could make the run forward here, you know. That is what you're meant to do. But there we go, great move. Ricci across Somerville for the tap-in. There we go, 2-0. If you can't tell, I'm playing with frustration right now, and it's being a catalyst for me to be locked in. And I want to put to bed Atalanta as quickly as possible after that absolutely frustrating opening game to the episode. He almost scored after the first goal. Can they get a goal from the second? On kick-off is Lopez, a striker. No, we can't. Tomori love the defending there. Neymar. Fede Valverde. Through to Concorda Ramos, and the floodgates have opened. It's 3-0. And this is more like it. This is more like the team we've had in this series. Now, we've just been ruthless. If you go back and watch the first season, you see in the episodes, this team just absolutely annihilate everyone we came across. It didn't matter how good they were. It didn't matter who they had in their team. We were just better. And a good amount better as well. Asal Samardzic used to be a Cromer talent back in the day. Probably still is a decently rated player, potential-wise, in the game. Keita from a Milan man back into him. Lopez, not too sure what he tried to do there, but he got it all wrong. Now Neymar forward with the ball. Through to Ramos, and this is 4-0. Sorry, Grabara, you've been a great goalkeeper for me in this year. We used him in the Wolves series, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's the series we used him in, if I'm not mistaken. And also in the Wolfsburg series as well. He's been a great goalkeeper for us in this game and for us on the channel, but he's had to ship 4 goals there to us. Just out of what's the word I'm looking for? Just out of the need to do so, basically. It's 4-0. We're going to sim to the end. And it's going to end up being a 4-1 win in the end to get a goal back and ruin the clean sheet, but it is where it is. And well, now it's time to see if that game was a fluke or this formation actually is good for us. Let's get into this one. Is the kit clash going to be an issue with playing it in the red up there in the orange? We did do a Roma Chroma early on in the year. Why would they not put them in the white kit? You know what I mean? Like, why would they play in the orange against a team wearing red when they could wear white? Makes no sense. But let's get into this one up against them, and it's time to find out if this 4-2-1-3 is actually going to be the saving factor of this series, or it's going to be like the last game was a fluke and Atalanta were just in poor form. What didn't he use it? Saladin to Lorenzo Pellegrini. I believe he's actually going to be leaving Roma IRL, but he's still part of the squad. Cristante. So we did a Roma Chroma at the start of towards the start of SC26, which actually was a very fun Chroma to do. I definitely recommend you go back on the channel and check out the rest of the Chromas I've done this year. But here is Concordo Ramos. Can we get a quick start in this one? Amidas Filos denied him from getting the first goal of the game, but it's a good start there. That's a bit more like it. Somerville. Valverde. Lovely football, but Cristante somehow got to that and blocked it. There from the game, what was that? Oh no, Wesley's beaten Calafiori. And the second challenge as well. And the third. The Brazilian is somehow still going here. And he's going all the way, and Wesley is denied. Deflected, and we're going to try and get this away here. Neymar. That was meant for Somerville, but Ramos can take it, and Ramos can score. The last time Sweden denied him, this time he cannot be denied. His 8th goal in 8 games in the league. He's played about half the games in the league for us so far. We've had a fairly easy fixture run up until the past couple of, up until Atalanta, up until Roma now. With the big teams signed to appear on our calendar in the league, it's just been, like Lecce, teams like that we've been facing, like mid-table to bottom-table teams have had for the whole start of the season so far. But we take the lead against Roma after a chance for them. They didn't take, with Wesley being denied by Magnon. We go to the other end and take the lead. And Neymar steals the ball off him. That's a lovely pass there from Brahim. I'm surprised that worked. And we're playing some great football again. That's offside though, isn't it? Yes, it is. That's a great goal, but it's offside. Well, it's a great start to the second half. Wesley coming forward. Ricci, great defending there though. Puts it out to the corner. Went out for a corner for them. And so the goal was by Christos Piatek, who you would think is 99 rated with the way he's playing against us right now. Because he's getting all the chances. Ramos, Somerville. And Somerville spins, he shoots and it's blocked. But Tomori does well there to defend. Ricci. Ramos. Why not? Ramos power shot from the Portuguese into the back of the net. It's 2-0. It's a brace for himself. And he is continuing this form where he left off last season. And it's 2-0 here. So it's a 4-2-1-3 May. Maybe working for us. It may have been, you know, there's a change we needed. There's a 4-4-1-1 that's been serving us well in this series up until last episode. So maybe the basic 4-2-1-3, the most used formation in SC25 is the way to go. Still in SC26. That wasn't what I wanted to do. Okay, Wesley coming forward. He's been the danger man all game. Shot taken, and Magnon makes the save just about there. Kessier Solomakers win the ball back for his Brody. Free into Solomakers. And Kessier makes it free. We might be back. Not fully back, but we are slightly back to the football we want to be playing with this team here. It's not as fun or as fluid as it was last season, but we're starting to get it back. That's what matters the most, and we're starting to regain some control, starting to regain some fun of this series. That's the last episode and the start of this video. Paqueta, love that from you, great defending. Salamanca just caught up there. Chris Piatek has rolled back the years, and Magnon makes a big save there. That probably should have been 3-1. But Magnon says not today. Ramos through to Salamanca's one last chance. In the Belgian. Getting stuff on the score sheet. Lovely bit of dribbling there from Salamanca's. That's great from him. He broke the defender's ankles and had a one-on-one chance with the keeper, and he's not going to be denied there. And Alexis Salamanca's is his first goal of the season. Only played 3 games apparently. I need to give him some more games in the second team, maybe starting him in some games, but he scores here for us to make it 4-0 right at the death. And it's back-to-back goals. Games we've scored 4 goals in. I see Atalanta will beat 4-1 in the end. Roma will beat 4-0. And like I said, we might be back. I'm not gonna get too far ahead of myself just yet. There's a long way to go in this season, but we might be back to playing some good football after last episode and the way this one's gone. Alright, so next up, as you can see in the snow, we are taking on Inter Milan, who, by the way, are 9th in the table this season. Last season, they were a team that were at least, in the top 4. Obviously, there's still a long way to go. They most likely will finish in the top 4 this season, but they're 9th in the table right now, and the form we're now back in, hopefully, we can head into this game against our rivals and beat them, like we have done many a times in this series already. And let's get into this and hopefully beat them here on a snowy day here in Milan. I could see Schick playing in Italian football. I think that's where I could see him going. I feel like he could do well in the Prem as well. There we go, Somerville charging forward. And maybe Man United play next season. Finds Neymar, and Neymar has missed. DeMarco. Good defending there from Scalvini. Ramos. You already know the play that I'm looking to do here. Ramos. Brahim. There's a bit of time to get a shot away. Brahim does so, but Provedel makes a fairly comfortable save there. Gusto intercepts. Inter are shown why they're 9th in the table. They've not done really anything in this game. They've been poor defensively as well. Brahim Diaz, I was going to hit that, but we're going to cut inside actually. Brahim. Now we're going to hit it. Brahim does so, and Provedel again denies him. This game could be over by now if it wasn't for him in goal. Somerville hits it, and Somerville puts it over. Somerville are going to take the free kick for the handball. In a decent position for Neymar to maybe hit this one over Valverde with a power, but we're going to play it short. And we're going to smash that there with Fede Valverde, who has the power shot plus, but Provedel is equal to it. Performance from us, but we haven't scored a goal. Which is worrying, because I know they're going to get one shot and score. and they're gonna take the lead after doing nothing all game, and it's gonna be right here. It's coming. I can feel it. Ball in. Magnon came out for that for no reason and almost cost us, because if they wouldn't have headed, it would have been an open goal for them to put it into. Now are we going to break? Somerville. Ramos. Through to Somerville, who's been lucky not to score already in this game. And again, how have we not scored there? And we still have the looming threat of them taking the lead with their first shot of the game. So it's going to happen. Unless we score right here. Brahim over the top. Can he finally get the goal he deserves? Brahim Diaz, finally! It's taken us 76 minutes. But we get a go-ahead goal. And again, we could be up by like 10 goals. Brahim gets his second of the season in the league. And it's a big one for us here. Finally, Providel is beaten. He's had a good game, but we should have beaten him multiple times by now. Like, he's had a good game, yes, but at the same time, we should have scored some of those chances. Let's make a few changes and try and get more goals here, just to make the scoreline reflect how the game's been. Because I've got a feeling that they're going to maybe get a chance later on and score it. Are they going to get a kick-off goal? Is this going to be their first shot and their first goal? DeMarco. Yet to shoot. Denied though, he should have shot the shot there and he probably would have scored. Domenico Berardi from the free kick. Give us a 2-goal lead. Berardi hits the side netting. Jimenez. Finally we get the second goal. Right towards the end of the game in the 90th minute, we finally score a second in this game. And it's Santiago Jimenez off the bench who gets the goal. Not having the best season, it seems. 4 goals in 11 games from him. Compared to last season, he was our second or third highest goal scorer. I think he was our second highest goal scorer behind Ramos. See, off the bench, he scored quite a lot of goals for us in the first team. In the second team, he's been doing incredible. He's 84 rated now. And I think, to do him justice, we might have to sign Santi Jimenez in a Chroma in the future. Maybe our next Chroma, because sign him to be our first team striker. Because in this series, he's been behind Concordo Ramos. And he is so good in the game. And I feel like we could definitely sign him and use him in a future series. Depending on where we go next, we could sign him. And there we go. It's a 2-0 win over Inter. And let me show you the stats of this game. Let me show you the stats. Look at that. We had 12 shots to their 0. Nada. Zilch. Nothing. Nothing. They managed 0 shots. Inter Milan, Lautaro Martinez, Patrick Schick up front, managed 0 shots. And while Man City with Haaland, you know, Doku, Foden, everyone in their team, they managed 1 shot against us earlier in the episode. So it's clear to see the AI can defend, but they can't attack. And well, it's time for the final game of today's episode, which is going to be the Italian Super Cup final here against Inter. The team we just played against and beat, and we could have beaten them so much easier than we did. Obviously, it wasn't a hard win in the end. We struggled to get the goals we deserved, but we got them towards the end of that game. And let's get into this one though, up against them, and hopefully win our second Italian Super Cup and our 6th trophy as manager of AC Milan. Inter in the white kit. So we are playing in our usual red kits. It would be so nice if Inter and AC got, you know, licensed again in the game. Because not having them in the game is, you know, a crime. Not having, you know, not having the San Siro in the game is a crime. Not having the Camp Nou in the game is a crime. And let's hopefully batter Inter here in this final to win our 2nd Italian Super Cup. Like I mentioned, we won it last season. Somerville. And we get a quick start. Somerville puts it over the bar. Piotr Zielinski. Over here to Federico DeMarco. Into what they're looking better attacking wise in this game compared to the last one. They actually are, you know, attacking. They're actually getting somewhere at least. And we're done well to defend there. Gusto. Ball over the top to Brahim Diaz. Brahim, Valverde on the overlap. Valverde just couldn't turn there with the ball. He turned with the ball away from his body. And Brahim now. And Cholo Ramos. Denied, and it's off the post. Oh no. Inter take the lead. And it's poor defending from us there. I don't know what happened. I really don't. 1 minute we were set up pretty well to defend that. Next thing you know, this happens right here. All our players just rush the player on the ball and leave Brother just wide open. Why does everyone else within the player that I'm controlling come over to him? Like, what is Scalvini doing there? He would have been in. Somerville. With a bit of skill. But he just couldn't control the ball. And Ramos reacted to that. It was right there. Can't believe when I won the dance Inter. I really can't. Neymar. That's a foul. That's a foul, ref. Oh, here come Inter on the attack in a second. Nicola Brother. Blocks there. Love that. Reaches had a great game, I will say that. Antonio Ramos. Ball through to him. And Ramos smashes it past Sommer. Get the ball. And I said it before, I say it again. Something I've always said in these videos that I make on SD Career Mode. We're not going to celebrate until we are winning this game, because we have disappointed in this one. A ball over the top. Finds this geezer. Not sure if he's a real player or a regen. What would deal with a cross. So how is it now a completely different game? Lovely play there. Somerville. Should have been 2-1. Should have been 2-1. Right there. That should have been the go-ahead goal. Ricci, he's had a fantastic game. Brahim beats Bisek. And Brahim Diaz charges, but his shot is tame in the end. Okay, well, it should have defended that, but sure. And they're going to get a throw in from that, apparently. Guevara Reed is now on. The ball in. Off the crossbar. A second shot of the game, they almost won it right at the death. And Neymar, go on. The captain charges and scores. Hopefully the winner. They almost did it at one end, but we do it hopefully at the other. And Neymar, despite being 34 or 35 now an 81 rated player, dropping in overall, still turns up on the big occasions, still turns up when we need him. As you can see, running through there, no one can get to him. The Inter defence is tired, and Neymar just has enough left to go through. And that's the beating of Sommer there, and the captain is ready to lift hopefully a second trophy for us. Obviously last season Modric and Magnon were the captains who lifted the trophies. I think Modric retiring lifted most of them. And this season Neymar lifted the Super Cup, and hopefully is about to win the Italian Super Cup as well. Well, I should say lift it, because obviously he did win all the trophies with us last season. But into one last chance there, DeMarco. Great defending from Brahim. He's had a great game. He's unlucky not to score Brahim Diaz, and there we go. It's going to be a 2-1 win in the Italian Super Cup final. Our 6th trophy as manager of AC Milan. It's our 2nd Italian Super Cup. You love to see it. Ramos and Neymar were the goals. A very different game than the one we just played against Inter beforehand, but the outcome is still the same. And it's a win for the other side in Milan that wears red. And up steps Neymar to lift the Italian Super Cup. Last season was involved in the celebrations, but didn't get to lift the trophy. It was Magnon who lifted it, and then Modric lifted the other 3 that we went on to win. This season Neymar, we're going to win all of them and lift them for us. You love to see it. And what a turnaround I've had in this episode. This game a bit less fun than the others that we had. You know, the Man City one was a frustrating start to the episode. The rest in between were fun. But this one was a mixed bag. But we got the win in the end. That's all that matters. And Neymar scores a decisive goal and lifts the trophy. Alright, so that's going to call it for today's episode. And like I said, it's been a mixed bag of an episode. It's been fun at parts, frustrating at others, but overall we got the wins we needed in the end to have the success we need. And the team right now is looking great, honestly. Like, this team is like, we've got an 82 rated backup centre back in Pavlovic. Like, he could be challenging Tomori for the first team at this point, honestly. 81 pace, 81 defending, 87 physicality, 6'4", bruiser play style, aerial fortress, left footed as well, so he works in that position. Compared to Tomori, 84 pace, 84, 81 with bruiser and block. Something to consider if he could take over Pavlovic in the team. So Tomori's been incredible for us in the team, so it would be a not necessary change. And yeah, the rest of the team's looking great. Our backups are looking incredible. We need to give more game time to the likes of, you know, Freeman, our backup right back who we signed, and also the young talent at left back in Bartasaghi, the Italian talent that we used a bit last episode and we didn't use in today's episode. But like I said, the team's looking great. And we do have, I believe, about 60 million. We've got 55 million to spend. We are in the January transfer window. And honestly, I don't know who we could sign, because let's look at the stats of the players. Gonçalo Ramos, 12 goals, 4 assists, 16 goal contributions in 14 games. Like, he is continuing where he left off last season. But Domenico Berardi, by the way, in the second team, 10 goals, 8 assists. That's incredible from him. And Kunku 7 and 5, Fede Valverde 6 goals, 1 assist from him. Santi Jimenez 6 and 4, Neymar 5 and 5 so far this season, despite going down to -2 in overall. Somerville only 4 goals and 3 assists, and Brahim only 3 goals. But as you can see by the gameplay, that should be much higher for them, because Brahim could have scored a bag full of goals against Inter in both of those games. The same with Somerville, but got unlucky not to do so. Yeah, but like I said, the team's looking great. And as I'll quickly show you the league table, with 10 points clear of Fiorentina and also Roma, who are joint second right now with a game in hand as well, undefeated, still top of the table. We have already conceded 7 goals so far this season. We've scored 42, which is pretty insane. And Fiorentina done pretty well, as you can see. And in terms of the obviously, we just won the Italian Super Cup, Coppa Italia. We are currently in the quarterfinals against Atalanta, as you can see. And in the Champions League, we are currently 5th in the table with 3 wins and 3 draws. Next game is Ajax, so hopefully we can win that one to keep ourselves in the top 8 to go through straight to the round of 16. But yeah, that's going to call it for this one. If you're going to enjoy the episode, drop a like and subscribe. As always, thank you for watching, and goodbye. Alright, so to start today's episode off at the AC Milan Club, we're taking on Fiorentina here in the Coppa Italia semi-final first leg against them, away from home, against a team we've done a bunch of chromas on the channel previously with us here. We did one on AC26. I recommend you go back and check out the other content I made here on AC26. It's a bunch of chromas you can check out. I have done also some World Cup content with the Wars game mode, actually, to make a couple more videos with that. I just keep forgetting to do so, or not finding the time to do so. But Fiorentina, as you see by the league table, we're actually having a pretty decent season. They're currently 3rd in the table. We are just again having like a insane season. Last season we won the league title. I don't think undefeated. I think we actually lost a game or 2 via simulations in the end. But right now we are still undefeated. Only 16 goals conceded. This stage of the season is kind of insane to say, but our team's just been that good. And speaking of the team, there's one thing I might try, and probably will try, at least for this game, is one thing I thought about doing is Santi Jimenez. As you can see, I've converted him into a cam because he does have the stats to play there, but I've also trained him to have the shadow striker role, which I might try for this game. Obviously, Neymar's that main cam in the team. He's going to be the guy that'll stay to lift the trophies at the end of the season, etc. But for this one game, or maybe a couple in today's episode, I want to try Jimenez in that cam role as a shadow striker. So let's get into this one against Fiorentina. He's going to start in that shadow striker role. So right now, Neymar plays a playmaker in that cam role, but we're going to switch it to a shadow striker for at least 60 minutes, give Jimenez a chance to see what he can do, and to see if maybe there's a chance that Jimenez in the future series could be a cam for us as opposed to a striker. Rights as well from obviously Mission Gladbach, another team we did a chroma with, Leon Bailey. We know to have him. We've got a right back here, I'm not too sure who this is, but he's on the ball here. He cuts back. But across the box into Fadioji, he pays it across, and luckily for us, we don't concede straight away in this one, because that would have been a bad start to the first leg of a competition we are looking to retain. So like I said, we won this last season. Jimenez, so he can dribble, can play passes, can shoot. So he's more of a striker, but it's a great ball through by Valverde to find Brahim Diaz, and David De Gea has pulled out an insane save there to deny Brahim Diaz. So the one downside to not having Neymar in the team is losing that that trickster play style. Somerville though scores, it's 1-0. De Gea this time couldn't stop us, and Crescencio Somerville makes it 1-0 after Fiorentina had a big opportunity at one end. David De Gea denies us at the other, and from the resulting corner we get the go-ahead goal 8 minutes in. You can see Somerville just drives into the space, wraps it into that far corner with power and precision from the Dutchman. You'll have to see it. It's a great strike there to put us 1-0 up. The other crewmates in the past that has been part of teams. Somerville, here we go again. He's got Concordo Ramos ahead of him, who's been an insane striker for us in the team in this whole series. Concordo Ramos, so just about misses there. Valverde wins it back. Brahim. Ramos across to Somerville. Somerville, 2-0. By the way, that pass there from Concordo Ramos, a lot of players in this game aren't making that. You guys probably didn't see that pass being the one I was going to play. But I said I look over at the far side and saw Somerville making that move and thought, you know what, just straight into that space, edge of the box, you can spin the defender, get a shot, we're low driven. It's 2-0. As Somerville's got a brace and a potential hat-trick on its way in this game. And David De Gea, despite making a good save to the Brahim Diaz, has conceded twice to Somerville. Interesting, we'll take it though. I thought that was more of a foul against us, but we take it. Somerville forward into Santiago Jimenez. It brings it inside, and Jimenez it's free. Obviously Neymar probably would have scored that, but having an actual striker playing cam with good passing as a shadow striker would be good. And I'm doing this because last episode, like I said, Santiago Jimenez, if it wasn't for Concordo Ramos being such a great striker in this team, he would be our first team striker. He's been unbelievable for us in the series. He's returned to form like it was at Feyenoord in the Milan kit in this series with me as manager, which always was going to happen because Santiago Jimenez in game is a great striker. He's a good striker IRL, as you know. Things haven't worked out for him in Milan since his move from the Eredivisie. But it's 3-0 here, and I'm tempted to simulate the rest of the game. I will play till half time and try and make it 4/5-0. Considering that Fiorentina, like I said, they're third in the table, they're doing well. It's just that we are a completely different beast in this series, especially after switching to the 4-2-1-3. It's kind of revived the football we was playing before, you know, the latest update and stuff. That kind of ruined everything. As Ramos just couldn't beat the fullback. Rocca Wrights. Loses that to Ricci. I see Ricci's been so, he had a slow start, I will say. Somerville for the hat-trick, and to finish the game, David De Gea denies him. He should have scored that one. That should have been the game done right there. Okay, that just doesn't make any physical sense, but sure. Santi Jimenez. Brahim lets it roll. Can play it across to find Jimenez, who just drags it wide. That would have been such a great move. Ricci trying to do the best to get the ball off him. Moisekin taking that out wide there for some reason. We're giving the ball away to Fagioli. Not too sure what's going on here, but we somehow give away a corner from that. That was strange. That whole move from start to finish. Header goal was Magnon with a save. Denied there by Ricci, and that's going to be a hard time. 3-0 up here in the first leg. We're going to simulate the rest of it. This game could have been 4 or 5-0 by this point, but unfortunately it's only 3. We're going to sim to the end. And it's going to end up being a 4-1 win with Neymar coming on and getting a goal for himself. Brahim though getting sent off is not great, but hopefully our next game in a domestic competition is one that he wouldn't have to play. Alright, so next up, as you can see, we're taking on Inter here in the Champions League. Ryan has seen Neymar returns to the camera for this team because Jimenez had to play a game midweek in the second team at striker. It's not fully fit for this one, so he might go off the bench at some point. So Inter, we're beaten every time we face them in the series. We haven't actually lost to a team in a played game. We're getting close though, especially last episode. Not last episode, the episode before. There's a bit of a scrappy start to this one. Brahim. That would have been a good ball through, but too close to Pavard because again can't play a ball around the defender. Lautaro Martinez. Nicola Barella. Still going is the Italian, and he's thankfully dragged that. Well, 16 minutes in. It's not going our way so far. We've not had a single shot. We've conceded 2 shots on goal from them. Well, not on goal, but you know what I mean, 2 chances. And we're giving the ball away again. Lautaro Martinez. Sucic. Inter have 2 hours of play in this game. Guevara Reed. There's a block there by Scalvini. Now we can get the ball away. We need to calm down here. Because, you know, Inter, like I said, we're beating them every time we face them. Ramos again, the Portuguese striker hits it, and it's 1-0. Our first chance, we score it because this man, Gonçalo Ramos, is such a great striker in this game. He may miss 1 or 2 chances now and again, but it's been so consistent in this series. It has been honestly unbelievable since the first time I used him in episode 1. He's just been so good, and honestly, he's one of my favourite strikers I've used in this game. I've used many great strikers, because Stulas comes to mind. I said a great striker, the young talent of Brighton that we used in our Leicester series, which was a great pyramid. I recommend you go back and check out that Leicester RTG from a few months ago. That was a great pyramid that I did. I really would recommend checking that one out if you're watching this one and you haven't seen it. And you're enjoying this video so far, you might as well drop a like and subscribe as well while you do it. I'd greatly appreciate it. But we need to focus back up on this game because Sucic is on the ball here, trying to get the ball forward for them. Pavard. Schick, dropping deep. Çalhanoğlu. Brother here to Guevara Reed into Lautaro Martinez. Good defending again. Tomori honestly is so good. I feel bad for Pavlovic because Pavlovic would be great. Like he's 82 rated, great pace, great stats, great player styles, but he's not going to displace Tomori and Gonçalo Ramos. It's 2. There probably hasn't been a single cut since the goalie just scored and now this one. Because obviously I was talking throughout it. As he defended the chance that they had. Great bit of defending from Tomori. Then we got the other end and Ramos with his second shot, second chance. We score. And this one under pressure from a man who's a little bit controversial right now with what's going on. And Ramos here makes it 2. Sucic to Çalhanoğlu. Somerville stills it. Can we make it 3-0 without a single cut? That'd be insane. In between the 3 goals, not a single cut would be incredible. Somerville is going. The Dutchman. It's Neymar. I couldn't get a flick. And we'll second half begins. And if you're Inter, you had 3 chances and 2 good ones. You haven't scored them. We've had 2 chances and scored them both. You feel kind of hard done by, but you know they missed that big chance of Barella and another one that they had that they should have probably scored with. That pass was meant to go to Tomori. If we concede here, thank you Manjon, because that pass was meant to go to Tomori. Neymar through into Crescencio. Somerville. Can we make it 3? The Dutchman is denied by Jan Sommer. Gusto, great defending there. Ricardo Ramos. Brahim. Across to Neymar. That's 3. You just saw me there. The pass I wanted first, I wanted to pass it into Neymar. The original pass that went out to Brahim. I was going to pass it to Neymar. Then I saw like the defenders were going to mark it and intercept it. So I thought, you know what, let's go out wide to Brahim first. Get the ball into a position to pass it across to Neymar, who can continue his run. And then finish it off with a bit of flair. Because it's Neymar, why not? And now it's 3-0 to us. I'm not going to simulate this game because this is a Champions League against Inter. We want to, you know, get this one wrapped up as much of a heavy margin as possible and not leave any room for error. Especially injuries or suspensions, etc. And LeBron, Joe and Bonnie. taking off Lautaro Martinez. Or maybe taking off Schick first for him, actually. I'm not too sure which one they took off, but Fede Valverde. It could go from bad to worse here. Neymar. Oh, that's great, but De Vrij somehow, you know... I swear I moved De Vrij away from Inter before I started this chrono mode, but oh no, this is going to be 3-1 right here. Lautaro Martinez, and that's Magnon can make a big save. He can, because Lautaro just scuffed his lines there. Right. Chukwueze on down the right for the pace. Lautaro through. Sucic off the ball. Neymar. Brahim. Oh, Pavard does well. Johan Bonny. Oh no. Bonny running forward. Offside maybe against Lautaro. It's not going to be in. It's 3-1. It's been coming. It's frustrating that that's one we conceded, because I feel like Tomori could have intercepted that pass. But it's 3-1 Inter. I've got a goal back. They deserve it. Can't say that they haven't, you know, deserved it, because they've had a lot of chances that they should have scored, especially that one from Lautaro Martinez at one point. Calafiori. Neymar. Lovely move. Neymar hits it, but it's wide of the post. That ended up in the back of the net. That would have been a great goal. It's 3-1. We're going to sim the second leg. It's only a 2-goal advantage, but we've got the players. We should be safe. And we'll beat Inter here in the first leg. And we should be through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League, unless we somehow actually do lose the simulated second leg. But I don't see that happening. And while we're jumping straight into the semi-final, the quarter-final up against Bayern Munich, we're all playing against one of our former players, as we sold to Bayern in episode 2, in Rafael Leao, which is technically episode 1, because obviously episode 1 ended at the start of the transfer window, or at the end of the transfer window, for us to make transfers and sales and, you know, stuff like that. Neymar back in, obviously playing the camera again, flicks it over to the defender. Neymar was great there. And Fofana, who we also... Is that the Fofana? Yeah, that is Fofana. Yusuf Fofana, we sold him to Bayern as well. So they have Leao and Fofana in a team, two former players of ours. Elise, good defending there from Calafiori against him. Passing to Somerville. Ramos inside. Could I get past Upamecano, but couldn't do so. Here's Harry Kane. Blocked, and that's going to fall all the way back to Jonathan Tah. Here's Nathaniel Brown, who they just signed. Here is Luis Diaz. No, Leao starting in their team, it seems. Neymar from range, why not? Straight at Nubel in goal, and it's going to be a corner though for us to take. No, it's going to be a free kick. We get a free kick. I guess we take it. Not too sure what for, but Fede Valverde with a power shot plus. Nubel makes a save. Somerville. Can he do it again? He did it against Fiorentina. He wraps it, but this time it's blocked by the centre back. And this time it's Upamecano. Brahim. Bring up Ramos. We have a 12 player. I mean, Ramos isn't short, but it's not like a target man like Harry Kane. But Neymar. Great pass. Through to Ricci. Most people would have taken the shot there with Neymar. But I just had the vision of Ricci making that run. The defenders were set in their positions. And a great through ball from Neymar, who's capable of playing those passes. As you see right here, the defenders were set, expected a shot. And Ricci just breaks into the space and smashes it past the keeper. It's poor from Upamecano, who's expecting Neymar to shoot. And then Ricci just catches him unawares, makes the run into the space, and scores to make it 1-0. I'm surprised they're playing Fofana over Leao as one of our former players that they've signed, but I guess Diaz is still rated in him, but I doubt that. Kimmich. Fofana. Pavlovic here to Jamal Musiala. Okay, that challenge there from Tomori just went nowhere near Harry Kane. He shoots. Magnon makes the save, which Diaz to Kane. Kane got defended from Tomori. And Neymar. to cook up here. Valverde. Brahim Diaz. Fofana just is there again. He's honestly really good in the game. We just sold him because obviously in real life he's being sold by Milan. I wanted to get Valverde into the team. To give us that Champions League pedigree quality. Bayern here. Playing some nice football, ball over the top. Diaz though. Gets it all wrong. There wasn't anyone to head that onto, but tried to in the end. Pavlovic. Musiala and Magnon with a very big save there. Already moved there, but passes after that weren't the ones that I needed. But Ramos has done great. Chukwueze across to Santi Jimenez, and it's 2-0. A big goal there for not only Jimenez but also for us to give ourselves a 2-goal cushion in this one. I had the feeling that Bayern Munich were going to score eventually. They're not really. I mean, they've came kind of close sometimes. You know, maybe Musiala should have scored that one chance he had, but Magnon made a great save. But Jimenez scores for us off the bench, and is making a case for himself to be a signing and a star player in another Cromer series in the near future. Maybe our next series that we do, we could sign him. I'm not too sure who that's going to be with yet, but we need to figure that out sooner rather than later. Got a couple of ideas that I want to do, but Santi Jimenez, Somerville, and now Jimenez. Here he is again. It's a great move from the Mexican. Striker turned creative midfielder turned shadow striker. 2 goals off the bench to seemingly send us through to the semi-finals of the Champions League. And any other career mode where we don't have like a legend like Neymar in that camera as a star player, as a staple of the team, he would play from now on out to the end of the season. But because Neymar's our cam, Jimenez has to, you know, be reserved to the bench. I mean, to be fair, you could start games up until the finals because obviously Neymar needs to be in the team to lift the trophies. But Jimenez off that bench in that shadow striker position is cooking. And due to that, I think I might need to bring back a striker off loan. Maybe a youth academy striker that I've sent out on loan to bring on. Well, here goes Kessier. Can we make it 4 and then we get the ball away to Kimmich there? It's poor work there from Kessier. Bayern, can they get themselves a late goal here to give them a chance in the second leg? Diaz, Pavlovic, Magnon spills it, and I feel like he could have caught it first time and also got the second one, but chance there for them, one last chance. Sabarion, who's obviously a new signing for them, who's only just come on, but Harry Kane, his header over the bar, and it's a 3-0 win in Munich. And Santi Jimenez has made himself a hero. But no Leao, and Fofana, despite having a good game, is beaten by his former team. And as you can see, after beating Bayern, we are now taking on Real Madrid in the Champions League. We sold a couple of players today. Have Rabiot, who we sold to them, and also we sold Christian Pulisic to them. I said we bought Fede Valverde from them. So we got the better of that deal, or those deals overall. I see they weren't like a trade deal or anything like that, but Ramos. I found Somerville. Can we get a quick start to this one? Somerville brings it inside. Has to work the shot. He does, and he scores. Less than 5 minutes in, Somerville gives us the lead against Real Madrid in the Champions League semi-finals in the Bernabeu. You can see what it means to the Milan fans. And it's a great goal, to be fair. Cuts inside. The defender needs to do better. Whoever that is that came close to him, I think that's Saliba, who tried to stop him. He needs to do much better there. And then on the side of the crossbar and in. And it's 1-0 to us here in this one. And somehow Jose Mourinho is not the manager of Real Madrid yet in career mode. It's still Arbeloa. I mean, that could be a fun career mode to do, you know, the Jose Mourinho era of Real Madrid, but it'll be such an easy career mode to do. I literally can just win everything every season easily, you know, with Mbappe, Bellingham, you know, Vinny, etc. Best defender, a lot of great defenders we can sign. So just putting Konate, here's Robbie, our former player. We don't really use him, to be fair. And we get a ball away. That's poor from me, and thankfully Rodrigo Doesn't make me pay there. I just tried to be clever there, and I should have just got the ball away. That's Ibrahim, also a Madrid player as well that we signed. Had a good working relationship with Madrid in this series, but see, when it comes down to the games, it doesn't matter. Brahim Diaz. Today just hit the crossbar. Brahim's denied by Thibaut Courtois. Tomori. Ricci. Somerville. Finds a bit of space. He drifts inside as well. The Ronaldo chop is at the bar. Why is it not gone to Ricci, who's making a run? You could see what I wanted to do there. Ricci's making a run into the space. Put it into the centre, and Ricci wins that header. Oh no. Rodrigo. Oh, the game just stunned me in there. Mbappe, and it's 1-1. It was offside. I thought so. He's offside. That's a little warning shot there, though. But to be fair, if the game did the pass that I wanted with that cross, we probably would have scored. Mr. Somerville could have scored twice in this game. Ricci. Across. Ramos, it's 2. We listened to the warning shot, and we fired back a real shot to Madrid. And now we're 2 goals up in this one in the Bernabeu. And Ricci, by the way, like I say, it might be in the episode I mentioned that he started slow in this season when he took over from Modric in the team. I wasn't too sure about him, but he's taken to that role, and he's earned my trust in this team. It's done well. He scored a few goals for us. It's done well getting forward. It's done that a few times for us. And Ramos makes it 2-0. Bellingham. There's Ricci. Actually, it's probably Rodrigo playing out wide. Bellingham in camp. I'm not so sure what their formation they're playing is, but Ramos. Oh, Neymar just... I knew I shouldn't have passed it. The second I did it, I was like, I shouldn't have passed it. Rodrigo, good defending there though from Tomori, I think that was. Ramos to Somerville, last chance before the half time break. Somerville's an incredible hit. And he's... Oh, I should have got... Why has he not gone down there? Why has he not gone down there for a pen? Here to Rodrigo. Ball in. Bellingham's denied by a big save from Mike Maignan, who's a goalkeeper that in previous years I've not really enjoyed, but this year, in this game, Dinhausen's header... Oh my god, what is going on? What is going on? Calafiori. We have the ball. I thought Maignan was going to collect it. I then didn't know where the ball was, but thankfully Calafiori defended that. But like I was saying, Maignan in this series has been incredible. He's been a goalkeeper over the years. He's not been my favourite goalkeeper to use, but in this current, it's been incredible for us. Brahim is forward here, and Brahim 3-0. We survived at one end again, just about, and we scored the other. And it's Brahim Diaz, the former Real Madrid man. A player that's not really been respected at Real Madrid as much as he should have been, I will say. I feel like he deserves more opportunities there. Obviously, he's got them in recent times, but over the years, he's been kind of like, you know, kept behind other players and not really given the chance to show what he can do after moving from Man City to Real Madrid. But he does well here. No, not Man City. He has to move him from AC Milan to Real Madrid. Let's do him up from Man City to AC Milan to Real Madrid. Back here to AC Milan in this series. It's been great for us again. I should have brought on Jimenez. I didn't realise the time of the game it was. Mbappe. It's been widely neutralised, and Ricci's done more there to stop the run of Bellingham. Brahim. That's offside. Free to Fede Valverde. Two Madrid players linking up, more 2 former Madrid players in this series. Ricci. Lovely move, but the shot was diabolical. Back on Madrid looking for a consolation goal for themselves, and they get it courtesy of Adrian Rabiot, a player we sold to them. You know, similar to was it the Inter game? I mentioned it, where he's got 5 goals to them now in 15 games. He's played quite a lot of games for them, seemingly. Rabiot. But yeah, I did make the change of bringing on Jimenez. I literally brought on Jimenez in the cam role, changed the tactics to shadow striker, and he's not come on. So I'm not too sure what's happened there, but doesn't really matter in the end. But it would have been nice to have him for the past 20 or so minutes. Oh, I love that from Brahim. It's a good turn as well, but Correas as well to recover, and Camavinga to Rodrigo, and it's a 3-1 win over the Kings of the Champions League in their home stadium. Pretty much been the scoreline of every game in today's episode. And it's a big win for us in this one. Like I said, it was a hard-fought game. Madrid did have chances. This game could have finished level if Madrid could have finished their chances, but they didn't do so. Ramos is 10.0. I'll tell you what, Tomori, Scalvini, Ricci deserve higher ratings. Magnon deserves higher ratings. But Conrado Ramos being a man of the match makes sense. He scored the goals and stuff. Did he score a goal in this game? What did he do, Conrado Ramos? He got 1 goal and 2 assists. Yeah, he cooked in this game. And well, as you can see, for a second season in a row, we have won the Scudetto. And Neymar's going to step up to lift it. Last season it was Luka Modric in his final season of professional football, going on to win it and lift it. Obviously we've won every trophy we've managed to win so far. Well, every final we've been in so far, we've managed to win, which is insane. And it's the Scudetto for a second season. Neymar lifts it this season though. And we're up next. We've got the Coppa Italia and also the Champions League final. So let's get into those big games up next. And well, after seeing the league title celebrations, it's now the Coppa Italia final for a second season in a row. Obviously last season we managed to win it. This season, can we do the same? Neymar, blocked by Dia. Obviously Lazio actually gave us a game recently. I'm not too sure, was it in this crowd or another one? I'm not too sure. We played them in a game where they actually did quite well against us, frustratingly. Because I went into the game expecting it to be a fairly easier game. Would have more hit to stop the game off with Somerville. Trying to bring his way through, but he couldn't do so. There's just no room. Gustav Isaacson charging forward. Being tracked down here by Ricci. He's staying with him. And Ricci's done well there. Ramos. Somerville. Now crossing to Somerville. It should be 1-0. The Dutchman. But much better players. We couldn't foot on, but Somerville picks it up. Somerville right on 2. It's actually Valverde who finds Brahim Diaz, and Skorupski side denies us back in the day. When they had, Tonali, etc. as well as young talents. Brahim though through. Neymar, great strength, composure, but couldn't get the shot away. And apparently no penalty there either, because Neymar's gone down in the box, but no penalty is given there. Here comes Alexander Bar charging forward. That's great defending there from Fikayo Tomori. Now we've got a good chance here. Ricardo Ramos over the top. First time hits it. Tomori wins it back. Fede Valverde. We've been all over Lazio in this game. You're not Valverde. Just put your foot through this power shot plus useless play style. So Alexander Bar. Bar's got the pace. Looks at a good cross as well. Back sticks to Kanyi. I think you know what I'm going to say, right? Their first chance of the game. Okay, I see you. I see you. I see you. Great play. Ramos. How? Calafiori, good stepping up. That's where that pass to work, but Neymar. Ricardo Ramos. There should be 1-1. And it is. Get the ball. They've had 2 shots technically. And they're level, but we're back in this. I mean, I say we're back in this one. We are back in this one technically, but we've been. It's been a smash and grab from Lazio if they won it. If they went on to win it, we're back level in this one, and hopefully now we can get the goals we deserve, because we should be. This game should have been over by half time. Like it really should have been. Brahim stills it. Valverde. Ramos. Valverde through to Brahim. The floodgates may have opened. And Brahim Diaz hammers it in. And no one can be surprised. Nice has been out against bin. We've been all over them. If it weren't for those two big misses from Somerville and Ramos, this game would have been over a long time ago. But Brahim Diaz rifles it home. And when it's not great to see our team struggle to score goals right before the Champions League final. Yeah, I mean, after this we're playing the Champions League final, and it's not great to see our team can have a drop in form in this game. Not drop in form, we played great. We just wasn't able to convert up until this moment. Bad pass there from them. Brahim picks it up. I'm not even going to say it, but you know what I want to say there. Somerville, great read of the game. Power shot plus this time. There we go, it's finally worked. Called it useless earlier. But we finally scored a long shot with it, with Fede Valverde. You'd love to see it. He used to score goals like this quite a lot in career mode over the years. But when the play styles came in, long shots became harder and harder to score. Unless you had finesse shot plus, power shot plus, whatever. You know, I used to be able to just take Anton Stark, a 79 rated midfielder, in our Dortmund career back on like SC24, get him on like that position, hit it with him, and 9 times out of 10 it was going to be on target, and if not, it was going to hit the crossbar or something, and most of them would end up in the back of the net. I miss those days of scoring long shots after long shot after long shot. Hooks it in. That's Tomori's every day of the week, and it somehow actually ends up as a pretty much, I think, a shot on goal there from the exit hits him. It's a shot that would count as a shot from him, but this game should be done, and it will be. There we go, a 3-1 win in the end. It wasn't as straightforward as it should have been, but the result ends the way it should have done, and that's a win for us. And well, here we are for a second season in a row. And I've lost track of the amount of trophies we won. We won 4 last season. We won the Super Cup, UEFA Super Cup, Italian Super Cup, Scudetto. We've won 8 trophies in total so far. We've got 1 more to go to the Champions League, but we've won 8 trophies in 2 seasons here at Milan, which is insane. Neymar steps up to lift another trophy here, the Scudetto. Not the Scudetto, the Coppa Italia is what he's lifting here. But the question is, can we do the quadruple again? Well, actually, what is it? We've won the UEFA Super Cup, Italian Super Cup, Scudetto, you know, Coppa Italia, and it could be 5 trophies this season. Let's get into the Champions League final and hopefully see these scenes of Neymar lifting the Champions League. And as you can see, it's round 2. It's Arsenal, a team we played already this series, up against them. Now this time in the Champions League final. And they've brought back Emiliano Martinez, who used to be an Arsenal goalkeeper back in the day, as a backup goalkeeper again though for them, he seems to be. And last time we played them, we beat them, if I'm not mistaken. So let's get into this one and hopefully win the Champions League against a pretty good Arsenal team. Like I said, we have beaten them already. Brahim up against his former teammate and Fela Mendy, sorry. Ricci, power shot from the Italian, deflected by Gabriel out for a corner. So there's going to be a bit of a chess match against Unai Emery's Arsenal in the series. Tata being sacked. And there's been a few manager changes, by the way, for a couple of teams. A lot of them have been a bit mental. I've seen in, like, you know, just the news articles that pop up, like Pep Guardiola's at Atletico Madrid, on his slots at Valencia, of all places. And Brahimson absolutely Somerville. There we go, Neymar. Somerville, can you win that if you can? That's 1-0 surely. Ramos denied by David Raya somehow. Back at Mikel Merino. Ricci comes over, gets the ball off him. Yeah, Ricci is so good. Oh, what was that pass, Neymar? Gotta win it back. He does. He puts Saka under pressure. He gives the ball away. Now Somerville. Go on. Use the pace. Somerville in behind. Stops it. Brings it inside. Finesses it. And that's a goal. Brilliant there from Somerville. He is so good, man. He's always been so good in career mode. And just FIFA or SC in general, whatever you call it. Sitting with that man there, Sonamakas in that celebration, and Kunku in the background as well. Santi Jimenez. So many players in this team that we have are just great players in the game. It's a great movement there from Somerville. Steps back, goes past Kivio, I think that was, and then wraps it into the far corner to give us a lead. And the game we've been better in. And the game we deserve to take the lead in. Gabriel Martinelli. Player we have signed in a Juventus career in the past. Obviously he was linked with Juventus at the time. Tries to play that through, but good defending there again though from his Scalvini does great. Neymar sends it through for Somerville, who has the pace. And we know he's got the end product. That isn't a pass I wanted. That isn't a pass I wanted. I wanted to pass that to the... Okay, game. I should have shot, more probably, but I wanted to pass that to the player on the edge of the box. But it is where it is. Try to send that through there to Brahim. Love that. Change the direction. And again, Brahim is going on the way, but he can't get a shot away. That's why I like Brahim on the right. He's not the paciest, but his dribbling is incredible. Jokeres. Great defending there from Tomori. Saka coming central. He shoots a weird shot there because he kind of turned on like in a blink of an eye. He turned completely. I will say that. I've got a bad feeling it's going to go through to penalties somehow. Unless we can score here. Neymar. How has that not ended up as a goal? How has that not ended up as... How has David Raya saved that? Somerville skips one. No division. You've seen the play many times. Somerville drives. He smashes it. Raya denies him though. Building up an attack here late on. Out wider to Saka. Timber crosses it. Back post. Gusto heads it away. Oh no, I should have kept the ball. I should have just kept the ball. I should have just kept the ball. I thought the game would play the pass I wanted there, but it didn't. So avoid the man of the match right now. It makes sense. If I've just thrown it away. No, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And we get the much as our second goal right here. Now Gabriel heads it away. Neymar heads it backwards, but back forward. But there we go. It's a 1-0 winner for Arsenal in the end. Somerville's goal in the 39th minute, I think it was. Seals the deal. Well, it's cut to the beautiful sight of Neymar lifting his second Champions League towards the end of his career here. And here we are. This was a vision from episode 1 to see Neymar lift the Champions League, and that's exactly what is happening right here. So he won it back in his day at Barcelona during the MSN days all those years ago. But here we are in what would be 2028, I think, lifting the Champions League, 35 years of age. Neymar is once again champion of Europe, our 9th trophy in this series. We've won everything there is to win. You have to see it. And Neymar's been a part of every single one of this championship celebrations as well. So Luka Modric the captain before him, Neymar the captain now. And what a much deserved win that was. And well, as usual, at the end of a season or a series, we're going to check out the stats of the players. And first of all, our clean sheets, Mike Maignan, 16 in 34. Pretty impressive from him. Gone up to a 90 rating now. And Maignan, I said it before, has never really been my favourite goalkeeper. In previous AC Milan careers, we've ended up selling him or brought Donnarumma back at one point and stuff like that. But Maignan in this series has been incredible for us. He's actually done very well for us in that goalkeeping position and been the reason why we've won so many games. But in terms of stats, we have played less games this season. I've actually controlled less games. But Ramos, 22 and 12, 34 goal contributions in 34 games, 5 less games, 5 less goal contributions from him. And he's got a goal a game, or goal contribution a game, once again, that he is just unbelievable. Berardi, His second team has cooked 21 and 12 from him at the age of 32, now 83 rated. Santi Jimenez again, 19 and 3, and Kunku 17 and 7, Somerville 13 and 11, and Neymar only 16 goal contributions, but those 16 goal contributions have been big ones. And obviously, he's 35 years of age. We expect him to drop in that impact on the team, but he is just still so good, man. Like, I don't get why he's going down in overall in stats because he is playing excellent. You know what I mean? Like his actual, like form. Well, right now it says okay, but his form has been excellent, etc. throughout this whole series. But yeah, just what a team we've had. And I'm so glad we switched formation because this last season actually ended up being more fun than I thought it was going to be after the other episode where I crashed out for part of it. But yeah, what a team! Somerville, incredible. Ramos, I mean everyone in this team, incredible. I could go through one by one and tell you how good they are, but you've seen it. You've seen it if you watch this whole series. You've seen it if you've seen this episode how good this team is. And one player that we need to use again is this man right here, Santiago Jimenez. Definitely needs to be part of another team. And also Pavlovic, we need to sign him at some point. Didn't see much of him in the series. Maybe even Bartasaghi as well. We could sign him. A young centre left back, and Yashari as well. We didn't really see much of him in this series, but Alex Freeman as well. We signed him. Didn't really give him much game time because we didn't need to, but he will definitely be a good player. We could sign at one point as well in this series. Maybe our next one, we could bring these players into the team. But yeah, this team has been great. This series has been so fun to do. But drop in the comments down below what stories you want to see us do next. If you're watching this far into the episode, thank you for watching. Drop a like and subscribe. And as always, I was going to say thank you for watching, but I say that twice for some reason in my outros. But yeah, thank you for watching, and goodbye.